Hello guys, hello everybody in Twitch chat, and welcome back to another episode of podcast Desu. This is episode 10 officially by number, although what's this episode, like 13, 14 or something like that now? I don't know, I lose count. I blame Paul, he's doing the numbering. We got some special guests today. I'm very happy to introduce you to most of you guys know who these guys are anyway. But I just want to say a big thank you guys for being on the show as well. I've got Howard from Baka Broadcast. Thank you so much, dude. It is
Hello. Nice to be here too.
Very early for you at the minute, so
yes. Don't worry. I came prepared with cartons of coffee.
Nice. And beer. So
the beer is here also, just in case we get to that kind of level of conversation.
I'm sure we would. And also we got Alan and Eric here as well from Dicodec. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. So yeah, dudes, thank you so much.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for reaching out and having us, man. We appreciate it.
So yeah, no, the fact that you guys are like everybody said yes is freaking great. And obviously the man, the myth, the legend himself, the man of steel, the regular guy in the podcast, Paul. Thank you so much, man, again for joining me. I do appreciate it. The man of knowledge and all things baby.
Just out of interest, Paul, what bands do you like? I'm having trouble working it out.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, you know.
So yeah,
so many out there.
There's so many. So many out there. There is indeed. Now, obviously, you guys have both got YouTube channels. I know Dicodec is a band as well. I've been listening to some of your jams while I knew that you guys were going to be appearing on the show. So you've definitely got another fan here, guys. So how did that start? What happened first, the band or the channel itself? Do you want to just tell everybody about the origin story of Dicodec?
Well, yeah, definitely the band started first. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, go for it.
Yeah, so the band definitely started first. I had known Alan from another band that we were a part of, and then there were some issues going on with some members and stuff with members leaving. So then he asked me and another friend of ours to kind of step in, and there was a new lineup for Dicodec going on. And how do we transfer from that to YouTube? I totally forgot.
It's because it started way before Eric. Started back in 2014 when the band started. It was a 3-piece group that started. I was actually doing drums for the band first, and doing vocals while doing drums, and then it turned into that's when I first attempted to learn how to sing, and then then it just spanned into the metal that I was doing before, and I had the idea was to stop touring because I had been touring for a little bit before that, and we're just like, hey guys, we gotta do it online first. That's pretty much how it started. So we started making YouTube videos. They're not up anymore. I think they're only up over on Patreon or whatever, but like we have a lot of cringy opening videos so you can see like the original members that were in the band. But that's how it started. We started with just like these random behind the scenes videos and stuff like that. We actually didn't start doing the reaction stuff until last year in the summertime. So that's when I first started. Sorry. But yeah, we've always been a band first. But it was like we had to figure out how to connect with people. And unfortunately, touring, going out in the scene was not doing it well. People were very reserved. It wasn't working, and everything was happening online. So I just made a decision that like, hey, we got to do this online, and we got to figure out a way to connect with people and just tell them our story.
Yeah.
And that'll ultimately, hopefully, have people like listen to our music too. They're like, oh, hey, I like these guys. Let me check out my music also, or stuff like that. And just share, like for me, just share my love of music. So because that music's been my whole life. So
yeah, I imagine the pandemic's probably been horrendous for you guys then, not being able to go out and do shows. And is that
oh, not at all. It's been awesome.
Has it been awesome? Is that been like a more of a
the
switch?
Greatest thing that's happened to me.
Spoken as a person who truly doesn't like people, clearly. Remember that in the audience. He doesn't like people.
Has that led to the channel, like, obviously making more of like an online presence then for you guys in the past, probably, what, year and a half? Because of this pandemic?
So I mean, no, the pandemic didn't really have anything to factor in. Like, we planned on doing this before it all started, you know? So, we had other channels. We had an anime reaction channel before this. And, we've been trying to do YouTube for a while. I have a couple channels that I've started, and I kept drifting away, kept getting sidetracked. And then finally, Eric and I, when we were doing anime reactions, I was like, damn, this music's fucking good. Like, I was just like, it was Attack on Titan. I was the first one. I'm just like, I really love this opening, man. Like, it was like, because like, it was just the idea, because I never watch anime as much as Eric or whatnot. So it was like, I was trying to call out all the flaws and stuff in the anime. It was kind of, we're just going to have that kind of dynamic, but it didn't work. It didn't work at all. We got a lot of shit, but
yeah, a lot of people were not too happy with that content. We got a lot of bad comments.
Yeah, you know, when you insult somebody's favorite thing, that tends to happen.
Actually, do you mind not to get too heavy, but I'm just kind of interested in what you were saying there, because I've always been intrigued by that. That's the difficulty with doing anything on YouTube, is you want to both be honest and at the same time you accept that if you say anything negative, you have to kind of like fight your way through a bit of a sea of issues there. So I just kind of wondered, when you switched from doing the anime to doing the music stuff, was that because you felt that you could create more constructive criticism? You could say stuff that you could more understand as a musician?
It wasn't even that. We just knew it wasn't sustainable. Like, there's only so much, like, I didn't like just trying to like figure out like the flaws in a thing, you know? And then I like music in general, so it just made sense. So that's why like our first reactions was to that opening, and of course opening to What's Up People. Those were the two first reactions that we ever did. And then we did a whole cover. We have a Attack on Titan cover that we put up, and man, that was a pain in the ass. But yeah,
I'm gonna go watch that.
Huh?
I said I'm gonna go and watch that now. I didn't know that was up there. So
yeah,
you're gonna get a clip
of
me.
It's a minute and 34 seconds, and we spent about like a month. I had like, it was 100 tracks when I was done with that mix. It was insane. For a minute and 34 seconds. It was crazy. So, and the people that know us, just like I said, like, it's like, so I wanted to do what we're doing on the anime channel, which is just like not bullshit. Like that, people that know me, I just say the first fucking thing that comes to my head, period. And yeah, it's stupid sometimes it's not, but Eric and I were just like, we just stopped caring, honestly. I was just like, well, we just were vomiting all over the place. And but we love music, period. Yeah. Like, that's the thing, is we just love music. And
that was a real difference maker too, because we talk way more about music than we ever did about anime. So like, we were also a lot able to chime in more and like say more stuff, break stuff down, and like get really into it when it came to these reactions, you know? So yeah.
Well, at least you made the obvious choice, the good choice of going from anime to music instead of anime to hentai. So I'll give you guys that. It could have been a slippery slope.
I'm just opening another channel now. Hold on.
Is there even a hentai reaction channel?
I don't know. Hey, I might have just
an opportunity here, guys.
Yeah, I know. I've just thought of that then.
A whole untapped demographic right there.
So I
definitely against a whole bunch of rows.
But yeah, that guys, it sounds like amazing. Obviously, you guys probably enjoyed music anyway. So, like, from a personal perspective, like, what kind of taste of music do you guys sort of like have before you kind of like jumped into obviously YouTube and then obviously reacting to stuff?
It's been like progressive rock sounding stuff, I guess. Best way to describe it. We made a joke of it where it was just like, it's progressive love grunge metal or something like that. So I like the sound of that. I don't think I've ever heard that term before. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
But yeah, no, like I said, I've been listening to some of your stuff, and some of the guitar stuff has been, I'll say it now, just very nice. Like you said, you got a fan from me. I loving the instruments.
Thanks,
for some of the songs. So I've been proper playing it. What I'm gonna do now is just gonna get Baka to or Howard. Sorry, I apologize. To
you call me whatever I want. The name is on the channel, so I can't get away from that. I get new subscribers going, "Oh, it's really nice to meet you, Baka."
Yeah, I know.
Okay, still taking a while to get over. Yeah, I just one question before I move on to myself. Just for the other guys, I was just wondering, whereabouts in the States are you?
Was that?
Whereabouts in the States are you from?
Whereabouts in the States are you?
Oh, sorry about that. I totally zoned out. We're both located.
Oh, that's what happens when I start talking.
Sorry about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
But don't worry, that's basically you just personified what most of the people watching are going to do when we come across to me now. So everyone's going.
Eric gets stuck in the chat. I'm not there to stop Eric from staring at the chat. That's why.
I have my attention split on
that
both.
Kind of dynamic.
There's a reason why we have to meet up. I have to babysit him when we do these things.
Occasionally cranking the little thing on his back to,
we both babysit each other. I stop him from going
to
the chat and eating too much, and then he makes sure I don't do stupid technical bullshit.
I must admit, I was there watching your recent Babymetal stream, and oh my god, the issues! I could see the frustration in your face, the anger.
I get super fucking emotional real fast.
Oh,
both
God.
directions.
I was watching that show,
Anger,
and my heart,
sadness.
man. My heart was just like, oh man, I feel you so much right now.
Dude, it doesn't help when it happens over and over and over and over and over. Like it's just.
It was hilarious. One time quick. He had like a total mental breakdown before a stream, like bad. I was scared. I was so scared. But then, like as soon as like everything started miraculously working and we got it up. Immediately his demeanor changes, like, hey, what's up, guys? He went from like 0 to 100 real quick.
So I have like a little Allen warning light on your wall. When he starts to build up tension, the light starts flashing.
We always
to
joke
go get his
around.
medication.
There's multiple Allens. And the fans of us know this too. They're like, oh, there's professional Allen. There's asshole Allen. There's
multiple personality disorder without having multiple personality disorder.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go on rants and speeches in the Discord server and stuff like that. So yeah.
Jesus Christ. So Howard, my man.
That's what Discord's for.
You're in what's it? Philippines, isn't it? Right now? Is it Philippines?
It hurts me to my soul that you haven't watched more than 15 seconds of any of my videos. What's the intro? No,
because I thought you were in Japan this week, wasn't you? Or was it next week you were due to go to Japan?
I live in Japan.
Oh, you live in Japan? Oh, so because last time I spoke to you, you said you were going back to Japan.
The amount of research. I get you. You've heard their discography and you don't even know where I am, guys. This is what happens when you have less than 1,000 subs.
Yeah. This is a host that's done his research.
Oh yeah. So. Oh no.
Your music. Just remember, your music was that good. Your music was that good that he never got round to it.
Oh god, yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna. Paul, take over, man. I'm just gonna leave. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys. Signing off. See you later.
This is the way that reactors are supposed to work. You walk out of the room, and then we hear your door close, and then you come in 5 seconds later, going, "Oh my god!" That's the reaction stereotype that you should be working on. So.
Oh, I know.
I'm really glad, actually. I was kind of glad watching both of your channels that say that there is something of a there's two pandemics in this world right now, one that we know about, and the other one is reactors who deliberately overreact. So it was really joyful to watch both of your channels and see you guys all acting like normal human beings when you listen to music, rather than trying desperately to look like you were more amazed by this than anything you've ever seen in your life.
I do want to touch on that subject as well. I do want to touch on the whole reacting thing in a second. But yeah, why Japan, dude? How is this for? How did that come around? Like, why did you venture off to the other side of the world?
This is one of those stories that if I do it in full could take up the whole thing. So I'm going to try and make this as small as I can. So I started doing music when I started from quite a young age. Joined a band in the early days of the internet, the early days of the internet, of my knowledge, sort of 2002. I was on some band websites. Got to know a musician in America, and we made a little 3-piece band. I went over there when I was like 17, and we started playing. I was amused to find out that in America I wasn't allowed to drink, which was horrifying when you're doing gigs and you're not allowed to drink for them. But after coming back from that, I'd really sort of started intensifying a lot more doing writing, and that led to me from a really weird series of events. I ended up picking up a job doing some writing for a company in Japan. Again, just sort of being on the internet and making as contacts I could. And I came over to Japan, first of all, I think it was in late 2007. One of my people will correct me on this. Came over to do some writing work. And I must admit, before then, everyone I knew in school was into anime. I had friends who were in anime clubs and all listened to us. I had never shown any interest in Japan before that. Just kind of a vague interest. I was just like into some things. And then, actually, no, there was a couple of artists who I quite liked, who I'd slowly got into, but it was just sort of music only. That was it. Then I came out to Japan and I was just like, wow, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was like, this is everything I love. And I was only here for a short time doing that work before I had to come back. And then subsequently I visited every year, and I always say this thing about Japan. It's I think English people get this reference. It's a Marmite thing. You either love it or you hate it. It's something where it's not a case of is it good or is it bad. It suits a certain type of person. So I totally would justify anyone who came here and said I don't get it. But for me, it clicked. Everything about the way of life, I just loved it. And then as I came up to my 30th birthday, yeah, I'm probably the oldest person here, aren't I? I wonder. As I came up to that's why I'm the only person broadcasting 4x3. How old?
I'm 32.
I'm older than you. Don't worry. Caroline speaks.
Oh, I thought you said you were 30. I thought you said you were 30. That's why.
That's the point in my tale I've got to. It's a long tale. So before I got to about 30, I was like, okay, this is when visa laws changed a lot. So I was like, I've got to make the jump now.
Thank you for the hype train as well.
A few years before, nice. And so I made the jump, came across, and I had started in the few years before then. I'd started picking up a couple of Japanese artists who I wanted to work with. Did a little bit of work. Then when I came here, it was really kind of starting afresh. It all had to happen quite suddenly. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been great, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. I should point out that since I've been here now 6 years, I've not once returned to the UK in all that time. I've gone to all countries around Asia. I've visited a lot of countries around Asia, but actually, I haven't left Asia at all in the last 6 years. Just stayed in Japan, and it's just been perfect. I absolutely love it.
You don't feel homesick at all, Howard, for the UK?
Well, my best friend who runs a shop which imports, he lives in the UK, and he imports stuff from different, a lot of Japanese stuff like manga and foods, and he's really into special edition foods. By the way, anyone who knows my channel, check out Baka Binge, which is our sister channel. He runs doing Japanese food and stuff. He comes over a couple of times a year, and he always says to me, Howard, do you want me to bring anything from the UK? Anything you miss? And I always say, no. And one time it was like, okay, my feet are too big. I can't buy shoes here. Bring me some shoes. So he brought me some shoes. And is there anything you miss? And we found one thing, which is proper gravy. Can't get proper gravy in Japan. That's the only thing. Only thing that I miss. I was just making potatoes one day. I looked at them and I went, "It's so long." It's the gravy. It's so long.
Gravy with the potatoes.
Yeah. Potatoes without gravy is just it's moa without soup.
So
You see what I did there? You see what I did there?
I don't know about that.
smooth.
Comes up, Baka Broadcast. Check it out.
So obviously, I'm going to just ask you something out of my own personal thing here. But how's the language barrier over there? Has that been an issue for you? Can you speak obviously pretty decent Japanese, or did you just kind of go and think, fuck it, you know what, I'm going to learn as I go?
Well, that first time I was in Japan, I learned a little bit of Japanese. And then when I came back to England, I kind of lost it all. And I realized this is something that it's not. I'm the sort of person I learn by ear. Everything I learn by ear, I find it easy to do that. So being in Japan was much more useful. But I mean, I've lived in a few places, but primarily I've lived in 3 places in Japan. And this gives you an indication of why the language barrier is so important. Lived in Tokyo a few times. Tokyo is great because you hear Japanese all the time, so you learn to use Japanese. It's good for that. The big problem is that everyone in Japan, especially in Tokyo, has a small ability speaking English that they learn in school, but they're usually too nervous to use it. They feel like they're really bad. So they see you and they see an opportunity to both be polite and exercise this thing they learned in school that they've had no practical application of. So you go into a shop, and this happens so many times. I'll go into a shop in Tokyo and the entire conversation will take place me speaking Japanese, them speaking English. Absolutely, both speaking each other's languages. So that is a bit of a barrier. When I was in Sapporo in Hokkaido, which I absolutely loved, but so difficult to nail a career there, basically no one speaks English and no one cares about your English. It's like, we don't care. You speak Japanese or nothing. That is the best place to learn. You just deal with it. But now I'm in a place called Hakuba in Nagano. I'm here primarily for a few reasons. It wasn't really my first choice, but I'm here because it's some conveniences, things that I need, lifestyle-wise, that brought me here. And basically, I live on the side of a mountain, and there's virtually no one here except for the bears, which is why you have to be in before it gets dark. The bears and the monkeys, I should point out. And the few people who do come here are usually people who work on the ski resorts. So they're like 90% Australian and Chinese. So keeping my Japanese up to any quality is really difficult. But just one thing I'll add, I know I rant. One thing I'll add is that the last video I posted on my channel was there's a band who we review a few times, a small band called I Love Me, a really fantastic band. But I've been in communication with their singer on Twitter. And they did a live stream where they accidentally, instead of calling us Baka Broadcast, they referred to us as Bake Broadcast, Bake. So we rebranded our channel. I did the entire video in Japanese, and we started reviewing bread. And I sent it to her. I was like, yeah, here you go. We redid the intro and everything. And I posted that yesterday, and she got a good kick out of that. She's apparently going to show the rest of the band today, so I'm looking forward to the responses. But, so even with my ham-fisted Japanese, just go for it. They will appreciate it. Even if you get it wrong, they will appreciate it. So
that sounds amazing. Like I've always wanted to go, and I'm going to make, as soon as this, like I said, the world sort of goes back to normal-ish, hopefully sort of next year. And like I said, my objective for me is to go to Japan for the first time ever. So that's
still amazed you haven't been, actually, because I was content is.
Oh, I was like you. I fell down the hole when I did my channel. Like if you've seen my name on my channel, my channel was originally a gaming channel. Like I start my
that came across.
I streamed on YouTube. I gamed. I did gaming videos and stuff like that. And it just so happened that I can't remember what started me off down the reaction. I've always liked reaction channels, like the people that you can obviously tell get excited about the same thing you get excited about and introduced for something new. So that was always appealing for me. And I can't remember what it came. I think it was like a game trailer or something came out. And I just thought, oh, new game trailer. I want to watch this. But then I thought, oh, why not watch it on YouTube and record it? And there's a video, because I'm lazy and I can't think of anything creative. So I did that. I did that, and it did really well. So I thought, well, if that's got a few views, I'll make another one, and that's pretty much just how it started. And then about a couple of months into my channel's life cycle, my reaction side of things took over more than my gaming side of things, until eventually, probably about 9 months into my channel, I hit a very, very special band called Babymetal. And
by the way, there's a silent cheer happening in chat right now. Let's all give a chance.
I'm
for the
sorry,
crowd to
I've been
die down.
totally just like talking to everybody.
It's fine. It's fine.
This guy is not engaged with the conversation at all.
I guess it's just weird for me. I'm so used to like talking to everybody in the chat. We're just like typing away. I'm like listening. You're talking about like doing your like you'll talk in Japanese. So I'm first talking English. Like I was listening to stuff, but I was like at the same time like, what the fuck am I doing? I just got done yelling at Eric about reading the chat, and I'm over here like typing and talking to everybody. I'm like, I should probably be paying fucking attention to what's going on.
It's cool. It's cool.
Sorry guys,
this chat's really boring. Oh wait, it's me.
It's me. Yeah.
No, it wasn't boring. It wasn't boring. I mean, Eric and I are very distracted motherfuckers.
Sometimes.
He's like, fuck this shit. I'd rather be a chat with you guys.
It's like a symbiotic relationship between one of these two. If one falls asleep, the other wakes it up. If they both go to sleep at the same time, you never get them back.
You know, I'm listening intently.
Ambassador.
Trying to get us to level 5 hype train, okay? I was like, we need to hit this, guys. Let's do this.
Oh. He's using the internet language to justify completely zoning out.
I'm zoning out. I zoned out for a good cause. That's all.
Okay, that's I like that. I like that. And you beat my lawyer.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So what were you talking? I forgot. I've lost where I fucking was now.
We were talking about the wonderful history of Neon Reaper.
Yes!
And how you went. I nearly pronounced that wrong. And how you went.
Before you do that, can I just ask one question to the chat?
Oh no! There was. I raided one guy before. This is. I literally. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I raided somebody on Twitch. I had one really really big night. And had like loads of people, like freaking, I think I had like 50 people or something like that after another episode of Podcast Desk. And I raided someone and he goes, and he looked at my name and I had shit off my community for about 2 weeks. Shit, non-stop shit. The guy looked at it and he goes, oh dude, what an amazing raid. Thank you so much, Neon Raper. I was just like, no.
That's awesome. You should change your name to that. No,
it's like
I get a lot more clicks. Just saying.
It's the kind of clicks he gets.
But you'll get some clicks.
It's the name for his new hentai channel.
It was, and the Neon Reaper hentai channel. That's incoming, guys. 2022.
Raper reacts.
Raper reacts. So yeah, my amazing community.
To be honest though, with the way that reaction channels are popping up, I'm surprised there hasn't been a rapist reaction channel yet. I'm actually very shocked.
Oh my god!
You know, like a former rapist,
from a prison
he's
cell.
out of jail
from a
now,
prison cell,
and now he's reacting. Oh yeah, even better from the prison cell. I doubt they would do that, but it'd be hilarious. And then he just like reacts to like prison songs or whatever, or that are about prison. I would argue to play Prison System by System of a Down first, but
at this point, I'm going to create 2 channels. I'm going to create that, and I'm going to create one. I'm just going to buy an octopus and just have octopus reacts to hentai tentacle porn.
I was thinking about opening a channel and calling it Mannequin Reacts and just putting a shot mannequin in front of the camera and just leaving it there.
Just leaving it there.
And then just
playing it videos
over that.
So yeah, and people are watching it thinking something funny is going to happen. No, it's not. The joke
thanks
is
again, Neon Raper, for having us. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
When you say thanks for having us, Neon Raper, that makes it just a bit nice.
Did he have us, or did he force it upon us?
I like it. I like it rough. So
I was asleep 2 hours ago, so I think we went a bit Bill Cosby by the sound of it there.
Your camera's just disappeared, Paul. Can you exit the chat and come back in, buddy? Because I'm about to veer my big head apparently to you. So,
I'm always suspicious about people who do live chat in front of a green screen. I'm wondering what's happening, but are there the bodies behind you or something?
So no, it's literally right. I live in a typical England. I live in like a 2-bedroom house. So I have literally no room to stream. Like I have my bedroom. I have my kid has her bedroom. My daughter, sorry. So there's literally that leaves me like nowhere else in the house. That either leaves me the front room. So I am actually set up in my dining room, and literally.
hear like knives and forks behind you in a minute.
No,
And, like,
literally, there's nothing behind me apart from a window and a table. that is it. So yeah. I might try and show you guys, but I'll have to like try and run. I'll have to do an Eric and do a last minute whack my Babymetal flag on my green screen before I like deactivate it, you know.
wrap it around you. Take off everything else and just come in wrapped in the Babymetal flag.
So it should.
I'm sure chat will. I'm sure. Hey, chat. Press like if you want him to take off all his clothes and wear the Babymetal flag. How many people are in chat, by the way? Because I can't get into it. I'm sure
70.
You've preemptively blocked
2
me.
people watching.
I don't switch my numbers on, so I do not know.
Oh, here we go. I can watch this chat. Who are these people?
Are you there,
This
Paul?
is starting. That's all right. There we go. I can't see the chat. Oh.
Howard's checking you all out, guys. Be good.
So how many people are moist in the chat?
There he is.
You guys are probably like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Moist.
Who's moist in the chat?
Moist.
If you go to that Codec stream, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Baby's mildly moist.
Super moist?
Super moist.
We got some
nobody's
moist
dry out
in the
there?
chat.
I love it. You guys have your own moist meter. That's awesome.
Yep.
Dripping.
We were doing live reaction, just like, and we were determining how moist we were, and it was kind of freaky that my fucking seat that I was sitting on was like wet during some of the songs, and other songs it wasn't.
We even had a poll going up where it was just like, do you think we'll be moist for this reaction or dry for this reaction?
Bro, I have so much fucking thigh sweat right now. It's ridiculous. What is going on? And then I was making Eric touch it. I was like, hey, he's like, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to think of a context where this story isn't creepy. No.
That's the beauty of moist. It's like it sounds inappropriate no matter what.
It is inappropriate when it's on your thigh and you're making your friend touch it. There's a bit where we go from double meaning to that's a bit rapey.
Oh.
Hey, we are on the Neon Raper stream.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
That is true. You're playing to the audience that you have. You cannot be blamed for playing.
We're forcing moistness.
Yeah, this person says it right. It's what being in a band is all about. Touching each other's moist thighs. Exactly.
Just check on my back.
Not doing my band.
Hey,
right.
Paul's back. We can't see you on cam, dude, but we can hear you.
If you're not touching each other's liquids, you're not doing it right.
Build trust and character.
It's not about the music. It's about who can make the
Catholic
loudest
school,
splosh
I
noise.
It's about how moist you are.
Oh, Jesus.
I like the fact that this conversation, rather than going on to a larger metaphor, is just stuck with the general opinion. Yeah, being moist and touching is good. we're sticking with that. It's like, oh, you think we're going for a larger point? No, this is very literal. So
that's going to be the title of this video when it goes on YouTube. You know, guests Howard and Dicodec.
Our chats get so bad, guys. You don't even know.
This episode got moist.
It gets worse than moist.
Oh, Jesus. The moist cast Des.
Neon moist raper.
Oh, fucking hell. Talking about things that make you guys moist.
I don't care what you say next. That was the worst segue ever. It doesn't matter whatever you do next. That was the worst segue.
I disagree. I give that segue.
But we already know what you like, so you're out of this.
On a very, very moist.
Yeah,
moist
I think you need to refresh.
Hold on.
You need to refresh to see me again.
Give me 1 second, guys.
It's just you and me, guys. Hey, nice to meet you all.
There we go.
As it's just the three of us, let's talk about things that are moist. A wet paper bag.
Your mom.
Oh man, I hate moist paper bags. Those suck.
Yeah.
I never hold anything.
So talking about things that are moist, now we finally got pull back.
I remember when I was last in Korea, I went shopping and they gave me like a recyclable paper bag. And I was like, okay. And of course, anyone who's been to Korea knows that rainstorms happen quickly and they happen strong. So I'm walking with all my shopping, and next thing I know, I look on the floor and my shopping's
Missouri.
there. Yeah, let that one hang in the air for a moment. I don't even know what to do with that. It's like, if you have paper bags and rain, then
I call that
I'll sympathize with you, buddy.
You're pretty fucking wet at that point. Just saying.
Super moist.
He's still talking about the other type of wetness. Okay, someone just turn his mic down or something.
Try living in the UK. There's only two types of weather, and that's either it's like the women here. They're either dry or they're super moist. So it's just wet. It's just wet.
But in all fairness, the thing that I noticed about UK weather is, but the rain in England is like always really petulant. It's like never strong enough to really be an issue, but it's just enough to annoy you.
It's just there
enough to be a little bit annoying. That's kind of how English rain works. It's never a monsoon.
Chad, do we now understand the difference between wet and moist? I hope you all learned something today.
Given your seating position and the amount of leg you're showing, I think you know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm wondering how long
I'm so glad that your camera isn't pitched down a bit more.
Oh, you want it down a bit more? Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I
tell you what.
We're taken down from Twitch.
I tell you what, if the camera goes down anymore, I will feel a little bit rapey. Jesus.
That was more fire than I signed up.
I'll leave it to the imagination. There you go. They're just knees in the there.
Going from moist to spicy real quick.
This is not how I imagined this show going this morning when I woke up.
Oh yeah. Oh, Eric.
I like the fact that you imagined it going anyway.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Paul, my dude, you've been sat there. I am so sorry. We've been talking about moist things for like 20 minutes.
What else are we talking
Only
about?
one guy was driving that.
I just don't understand what else we have a conversation about.
Well, at least I know what your new channel direction is going to be. It's like, I like music. But now I come to think about it, there's things that are on my mind much more.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, we got nut taps in our reactions. We have people falling over. We have banana peel experiments.
Oh,
I'm just gonna leave it at that too. We'll let your imagination go on that one for a bit.
I got enough entertainment. Keep me happy all tonight.
No
Thank
context. So just have banana peel experiments. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, Paul, I'm gonna quickly blurt it out before we change direction again. The thing with it was we all get super moist for. Obviously, the reason why you're on the show, Babymetal. That's. Let's get this out of the way quick, because I know that's what everybody in the chat's sort of waiting for. They're all like, "Fuck you, Neon. We just want Babymetal. We're here for Babymetal." So obviously, there's been a lot of things that have been going on. Obviously, with that, I just want to ask you guys as well. I don't know who to start with. I'm going to start with Howard, just so we can avoid the moist for a little bit. Babymetal? I can see obviously the background stuff as well, dude. How did you come around to enjoying Babymetal? What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, one day I was really moist, and so no. Actually,
and then he got more moist after hearing him.
Oh fuck! I woke him up.
And it turned into wet. It turned into wet real quick after listening to Babymetal.
Oh, dude, they're young.
I'm starting to understand why Eric's distracted.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm not distracted. I'm fully focused right now.
No, I meant
So,
like when we're
okay,
together.
I gotta
Why
try.
you get
I
distracted.
shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I woke up Thigh Man. Thigh Man is talking about moisture again. Don't look at Thigh Man. Okay, right. So, basically, long story short, this is actually one of the simpler ones of all the bands that we follow on the channel. When I first decided to start doing, because we'd done basically our channel before we went over to doing YouTube, our first YouTube channel. Before that, we had a radio program, and on the radio program, we would do a thing where we would regularly sit down, like we'd just go over Japanese music and sort of do a thing that was a kind of equivalent to reacting. We would just talk about music while it was on. It was kind of lighthearted and fun. But then when we went over to doing YouTube, we were doing a mixture of content. And I thought, well, I might as well do some reactions as well, because it's a popular thing and it's kind of in keeping with what we've done before. So I was looking for artists to cover, and when I was in London, I remember there was a Babymetal concert there that a friend of mine promised me tickets for, and I didn't know anything about the band at the time. I just knew they were a big thing. They were from Japan, so I was like, yeah, guys, show a little bit of support. He promised me tickets for it, and he did not deliver. Completely screwed me over. We're not friends anymore. Only partially because of that, but partially because of that. And so I kind of, because I didn't really know what I'd missed, it kind of slipped past. And so when I was doing the action thing, I thought I'll give myself a list of 10 artists. I'll record 10 reviews, and whichever the best 5 are, I'll put them up. And just see if I can get like a little bit of a reaction thing started on our YouTube channel as well. And so Babymetal was an obvious choice. And I think the first one I picked up was Karate. And just sort of listened to it, and I was like, I was expecting a degree of quality, because obviously, they were so popular. But there was always that part of my mind, and this is something I talked about recently on the channel, which I've taken me a while to get over, even as somebody who's so familiar with Japan, is the idea of sometimes when you've been into music your whole life, when you look at a band who are like Babymetal or Bandmate, who have like an image which is kind of antithetical to what you'd consider to be a musical image. It's, it's kind of got a degree of a gimmick to it. It's got a visual gimmick to it. From a Western perspective, you look at it and you think, oh, that means it's just a bit of a gimmick. But actually, from a Japanese perspective, it's not. It's an additional layer. It's like they're already quality. They're just adding a fun image to it as well. And that really came across to me, and I enjoyed it. And then the fans they were really cool. And so we dived into it. And then on the original channel, we ended up reviewing every single Babymetal song ever. Including all of the little B-sides and everything. We did every single song, and it was a huge community thing before that channel got shut down. We had to restart everything. And I just remember that like the whole community were really so on board. And it was a shame, because when we restarted, I don't believe in repeating material. And so for me, it was a bit of a heartbreak that it was very hard to get a lot of the Babymetal fans who had been on our channel before. We had we were easily into the 4 figures. It was very hard to get any of those subscribers back, because I was like, I'm not going to go and repeat material that I've already done. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And so, a lot of those subscribers never came back, which was kind of really sad. And I should point out, actually, because you were actually talking about doing a cover. On that channel, we did a few covers before. I did a few which were junk instrument covers. So I did one of Papaya and one of Elevator Girl when Metal Galaxy was coming out. But my favorite one was I did Elevator Girl as elevator music, and that was one of my favorite covers that I ever did, and that took all of about an hour to make, as you can imagine, just going through little MIDI processes. But that was one of the most fun things that I'd ever put up. And yeah, it was just one of those things where, like I say, it started as this is a go-to band. This is a band who I'm interested in, but I've never really given enough time. And it became something where I was like, wow, there's a lot of quality behind this. And then, it became something where, just like I say, the community were just there. And one of the songs that most impressed me, because obviously I knew they could do stuff like Karate. I knew that. I'd heard songs like Give Me Chocolate. I knew they could do stuff like that. One of the songs that most impressed me, I think it was Tales of the Destinies. Because I'm a big Cardiacs fan, for anyone who knows Cardiacs. That's a band who I saw many, many times. And they're one of the most sort of crazy experimental bands. It's sort of known worldwide in a very sort of small niche of things. Virtually no song ever touches on 4/4 time signature. And so when I just heard that it really spoke to me. I was like, yeah, if you can do that and you can do that convincingly, then you won me over. Yeah, it was just one of those things. Like I say, went from a weird curiosity to a wow, there's actually something genuinely in this. This is, and then sort of reviewing Sakura Gakuin, Karen Girls, the usual routes. Huh?
There we
How
go.
long did it take you to like do all of it? Because like we've been doing Babymetal for months, almost like a year, and it's like we're not even halfway done with all their discography and stuff.
It took about a year and a half. We were posting 2 videos every day. And it took us about a year and a half to get through everything. And it was, like I say, I was very conscious about the fact I didn't want it to be just a case of churning through. I mean, every single video, at the time I was doing reactions. I don't do reactions anymore. I've stopped doing that and gone over to doing a purely reviewed format. At the time we were doing reactions, and so I always made sure that after every reaction there was a good sort of 10-15 minutes of analysis where I broke down the song, I talked about the song, talked about what I thought about it. So we went really in depth with all of them, and so this was a vast amount of my life that I gave over to doing this over that period of time, which is why it was such a heartbreak when that all got washed away. And it was, like I say, it was just a shame because I really wanted to sort of stick with that community on board. And we're working on a project at the moment. At the time, we did a top 10 Babymetal song list, which was just a fun thing we did based on having listened to all the songs with all the fans. I said at the time that after Metal Galaxy, we would update that list. And then, so in the months following Metal Galaxy, we were going back to reviewing that. And then we had the channel got closed down in early 2020. So recently I posted a video sort of saying to people, look, I know there's a lot of people who don't realize that we reviewed every single Babymetal song before. So just an intro, we are going to do that updated list. We're going to make it a more comprehensive top 25, have a lot of fun with it. But I was just kind of saying for people who are new to the channel, don't think that we're just some people trying to get clickbait and just doing a top list. We actually have invested a lot of time into this. It's just there's no record of it online anymore, except for the people who already knew about it. So, but yeah, no, sorry, a bit of a waffle, but it's been quite a big journey actually, and definitely a big part of what our channel certainly was, and I hope still is. So.
I suppose you're just crying out for content then at the minute. I imagine you'll be back to your best then when maybe another album drops or something. So,
in reference to Babymetal solely, yes, obviously crying out for new content in that sense, but at the same time, I mean, I can't deny that one of the big things our channel does is that is genuinely a love of all music, obviously focusing on Japan. So it's given us a chance to listen to loads of other artists. We've been focusing on a much wider range of artists this year. We completed every single Band-Maid song as well, that's a massive one because they got enough albums. Did every single Band-Maid song, and then we did one of the things we're going to do here, and I'll point this out with Band-Maid. We did, before I dropped the top 25 Band-Maid songs in our version, we did a sit down listen along where we listened to every single song again in one live stream. So we went through every single album and listened to them all back to back. We are going to do that for Babymetal as well. Before I do the top 25 for Babymetal, we're going to sit down and we're going to do a live stream where we listen and talk through every single album together, like a little marathon. Yeah, it's a community thing. I mean, when we did the Band-Maid thing, it went through the entire night. It took 10 hours to do the whole live stream, and at the end, everyone felt like really bonded by it. And that's kind of my thing. For me, the communities that follow these bands are a big part of it, because there's a genuine sense of community there, and that's also why I feel like in my reviews, I think it's very important. I'm always honest. If I don't like a song, I'll say I don't like it. And I'll talk about why, and I'll justify it. And I think what's nice is when you have the crazy fans who are just obsessed, who are always going to be a problem. But then you've got the real fans. They're the ones who can sit down and talk about it because they're comfortable with what they enjoy. And they're great. You do stuff like that, and they come out of the woodwork, and they disagree with you, but have great conversations, and that is what doing this is about, as far as I'm concerned. That's what this sort of channel's about.
That's a beautiful story, man.
There you go. That's my manifesto. Thank you. There should be violin music towards the last half.
Take it back.
So obviously, what about you guys? Like my first experience, obviously, with seeing Babymetal for you guys was I watched your guys' live stream. Technical difficulties aside, and Alan going off his fucking rocker. How did you?
Was that the day that I exploded? I finally I just lost it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, like,
I really enjoyed
I used to
it.
try to explode off camera, but now I'm just like,
Yeah,
fuck it.
But
I already went to all other extremes. Might as well explode on camera too. Why not?
how did your guys' descent to madness kind of go down there? Because obviously I can see Eric there with his Babymetal top on now, so I know it's just not not a viewer thing. There must be some love in there as well.
Yeah. So,
First of all,
go
ahead.
for it. All right,
Go for it.
So since we first started doing our channel, some of the comments that we got were immediately to check out Babymetal. So I had already heard Gimme Chocolate at the time, and I had already decided that it was just like, oh, it's not really a band I would listen to,
Yeah.
But then we heard the first reaction we ever did was Road of Resistance, and that song just blew me away with all the guitars. I was just like, is this really what Babymetal is? And then
left moist.
Left me moist.
He's been waiting for that.
He has. He
needs to have his every 10 minutes he needs his moisture break.
Yep. He has to get it out once every 5 minutes.
Well, if you can, you should.
Better out than in, I always
it's
say.
Healthy.
Yeah, but yeah.
Notice one of your arms is much bigger than the other. Anyway, carry on.
So yeah, Road of Resistance, I had to listen to it over and over again after that reaction on the way home. I was just like, damn, this is just too good. And then, of course, people started recommending more songs. We kept getting further and further down the foxhole. And it just the more we started learning about them, the members, the, some of the meanings behind the songs and what's kind of makes up Babymetal, that's when I was just like, all right, this is too cool, And then, like you were saying too, the community helps a lot. They're really cool people, and it just feels like a Babymetal family,
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. Paul, obviously, as probably the biggest Babymetal fan here, what is it you look for in obviously from a standpoint? Let's take a step back here. If you watch Babymetal reactions quite a bit, probably everybody in the chat does as well. So I'll get everybody's input on this. But what is it you look for when somebody reacts to Babymetal? Do you just like seeing people's faces just explode with happiness, or what the fuck?
Before you respond, Paul, I was saying that one of my followers, actually one of the co-founders of my channel, is an Irish fella, and he's just messaged me and he's just said, "Get the Irish guy to speak up." So you've got support, man.
You've got support.
Want you to speak.
I've been trying to get it to Paul now for the past half an hour.
Sorry, we were talking about moisture. Carry on, Paul.
Yeah, so I guess as a long-term fan of Babymetal, I've been a fan of them since 2014, so about 7 years now. It's always cool to see someone hear them for the first time and react to them for the first time, because it reminds me of how I felt when I heard them the first time, and the process of the first song. My first song was "Gimme Chocolate," and that was what got me to know about Babymetal. But then it was IDZ that got me to fall in love with them, and to become a fan. So when I look at reactions, I want to see people react falling down, following that same process, and falling in love with Babymetal. And you can kind of tell when someone is reacting and being genuine versus someone who's like Howard said earlier, you see a lot of reactions where people are just want to say that, oh, this is the greatest thing that they've ever heard. It's not a real reaction. So I think you can tell, and it's nice to see people to say wow, what the hell is this, and that's what you get with Babymetal. And then slowly they start to listen to more songs, and they said, oh, this is really something that's awesome, and this is I'm going to be into this band, and I'm going to follow them. I'm going to be a fan. So yeah, that's what I look for.
So just a little question. I was just wondering, because I was thinking a lot when I myself switched from doing reactions to doing reviews, and a lot before that, I was thinking to myself, what is the point of reaction? What's the point of someone seeing you listen to a song? And you kind of hit the knob on the head there. But I was thinking maybe a way of describing it. I wanted your opinion on this. I think if we hear a song we really like, we all really want to sort of play it to our friends and say, hey, listen to this. But 90% of your friends, just by the fact we know our friends by proximity, are probably just not even going to be into what you are that much, or they're just not going to.
Yeah, I didn't even do that.
So I get the feeling, is it kind of like, it's a reaction video almost kind of like sharing a music with a friend who you know is actually going to more likely be interested in it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like I got into Babymetal. I knew that a lot of my friends wouldn't have any interest in Babymetal, you know, and kind of if I showed them, they'd think, oh, you know, you're a little bit funny, you know. But yeah, like that's what's so great about the Babymetal community is like I live in Ireland, okay, and like there's no one around me that loves Babymetal, but that's the best thing about the community is that it's people who love the same thing coming together, and you have like a common interest and a common love for this band, and yeah, it's just something you can enjoy together. So definitely that's a factor. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with Babymetal news, obviously we've just come out of the Budokan shows as well, Paul. Is it anything worth talking about? I know there hasn't been or really that much news on the Babymetal side of things. It's been relatively quiet after Budokan, which is sort of surprising a little bit. Do you see anything maybe like in the immediate future for them?
No, it was surprising. Like I thought something would come from Fox Day, which is the 1st of April every year, and then something that would come from the last couple of shows at Budokan, but we didn't really get anything. So it's kind of been left in the open. You know, Babymetal like to keep people guessing, never answer too many questions without leaving a few more questions out there. So yeah, it's a wait and see kind of thing now. I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen next. Budokan was kind of about celebrating the past, I feel. Doesn't really say anything about the future. So, yeah, who knows? You know, maybe a new album. We'll find out what Living Legend is on the Stairway. We still don't know. So, yeah, a lot of question marks there, but it's exciting too, you know? Kind of waiting for something to happen, and you can maybe look forward to something good, you know?
I think 2022 will probably be the year that we get like a shit ton of content. I feel like they've held off on purpose now. Their Budokan shows are done. They played pretty much their whole entire set list again. Then they made a lot of people very happy with that, with doing some old songs that they hadn't played for a while.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And it was, but we haven't heard any potential news. I do feel like I was surprised they actually did the Budokan shows, to be fair, because I know there was a lot of Japanese bands at the time that pulled out a bit Budokan. Bandmade being probably one of the most notable ones.
We're supposed to do a show there.
So the fact that they played to pretty much a half audience at the time was pretty surprising. Even more surprising that they chose to record it. So I don't know. I feel like they want to release something, but the state of the world's in at the minute. I feel like they're waiting for that opportunity just to go.
Yeah, they want to release it in the right way. I mean, Babymetal have always been about their live show, and the live show is everything to Babymetal. So I feel they've kind of hold back on releasing things because they want to do it the first time in the right way. You know, the fans at the shows are such a big part of their performance, and you know, some of their songs maybe aren't the greatest on record, but they actually come to life when it's a live show. Like Papaya is a good example.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't like Papaya when they heard it first on the record, but then
I love that one.
Yeah. But you see it first then on at Yokohama when everyone started waving their towels, and it just came to life as a song live on stage. So I think they're probably holding back on stuff until they can actually do a proper concert again with fans.
Yeah.
So it gets the proper treatment, you know, and they can present it to the fans the way they want to do it, you know.
So
they definitely seem like the band that thinks about, and like they do everything with a purpose. So like I'm sure if they're holding back on something, they're definitely trying to do it like justice and make it right, you know.
Exactly.
I think it's probably more fundamental than that, to be fair, in that most of the studio activity in Japan, I mean, certainly from the people I've worked with, most of the studio activities being kind of stopped, in that the only bands who've really been functional during this period are bands who work on a very small crew. So bands who require a larger crew have mostly stopped. Which is, you know, partly due to restrictions, partly all kinds of things, you know, people not wanting to be involved, not wanting to be pressured to be involved. And when you look at a band like Perfume, that's a very large crew that's involved. I mean, you've got writers, you've got producers, you've got a lot of text, you've got a lot of musicians, you require a larger studio. There's a lot of stuff involved. It's not like putting a band like even Bandmade into the studio, which is a relatively small crew by comparison. So I think, to be fair, even if they wanted to, I think that they probably wouldn't be able to. And of course, then you've got the period of time that's required for, you've got to go through the whole mastering, the mixing process, all of the studio stuff. Then you've got to get ready for the commercial machine. That's got to get revved up. You've got to have the contracts for advertising and everything. You've got to organize a tour that represents the release dates. It's a very slow machine to get going. And considering that Japan is still in a period of being very cautious, I'm kind of inclined to agree that I would say maybe 22, maybe, to be honest, towards the end of 2021 to capitalize on any potential Olympic kickback is more likely. I think that we are going to see them, but I think it's a mixture of them being careful, like you say, to make sure the machine's working properly so they can do it properly. And also it is them, I think, just simply, it's the awareness that if they tried to do it now, it wouldn't work properly. And this is the kind of band that can't afford to have a duff album, because their whole thing is that they are, it's quality throughout. They're a big commercial machine. That's the sort of thing where everything has to be well oiled. So, I don't see anything happening of any significance before the end of this year. But by the end of this year seems realistic to me.
I think they're definitely working.
Almost definitely there's something happening. I did just have one hypothetical question that I really wanted to ask Paul. I'm really intrigued on his opinion on this. Now, this is don't have to use any past information on this. If it was your perfect choice, who would you pick as a third member?
Oh God! You do not know the worms. Can of worms you just opened.
I can have a guess.
I think my answer is very, very tame. Momoko. I mean, it makes so much sense. I mean, she's been the only Avenger that has been performing with Babymetal since for over a year now. She took over the European tour in Berlin, I believe. So that was February of 2020, and she's done everything with them since. So, I think it makes sense for her to be added now. I mean, she's been there so long; it almost feels like she is a member. It's everything but officially at this stage. So, that makes sense. I think. Yeah.
It's a nice, safe answer. What about the other guys? What do you guys think? Third member. If you could have any member you wanted to be the third member, who would you pick?
Originally, I had eyes for Kano. I don't know what it was, but I really loved Kano. I loved the way she danced. For my own personal opinion, I thought she was the better dancer. She just took my eye a little bit. Nowhere near as good as Moa, but out of the three, I thought she was the way she moved was really appealing on the eye. So I was kind of sad to see her sort of like go and do other stuff now with her other bands, and that's sort of out of the question now. And I'm in total agreement with Paul. I see it as I think the real question for this is do Babymetal need a third member? In which case I would say, keeping it short and sweet, that I would like to see that. And if they were going to do that, then yes, my choice would be Momoko as well. I think Paul pretty much hit the nail on the head. She feels like the third member already. The space is there. The other two girls are doing their own stuff now and have gone out and doing their own side projects. So why not? Why not? So yeah. So for Momoko for me, but I would have, if Kano was still there, I would have said Kano.
Bye, guy.
We're actually not too familiar with the Avengers. Like, we've only done a handful of reactions with them in it, so it's just like,
I was just about to say, as long as the fucking music keeps sounding good, I'm there. I don't give a fuck who's in it.
Yeah, the music is awesome.
That's a good point, actually.
If Sue leaves, then I'll be pissed. But
if Sue leaves, Babymetal's done.
I'm gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gone.
It's
over.
Coming, and it sounds great. I'm there. Whatever. Whoever. As long as this shit sounds good. That's all I care about.
The imbalance. Everyone says,
but you guys know way more than us.
If someone said if Moa left,
I would be sad. I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
I'd be super
pissed.
That's
the imbalance in the band. That's the imbalance in the band. You can't have these two members because if one member is below the other.
This is what comes back to having that third member.
Being real, right? If Sue's the main singer, I mean, obviously, like if she leaves, it's gonna what the fuck, But
yeah.
All jokes aside, but you know what I mean? Like, I guess if Mo left, they're probably going to still keep going, right? I'd be super pissed. But, I'm sure the music's still going to sound amazing. It's going to come out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's the main thing. If you
I appreciate you guys. You guys are so in depth about this. I feel like a piece of shit being in this conversation.
So, don't worry, guys. We're gonna come to you two in a minute.
Oh no, I'm not worried.
So I don't have to
I'm not worried. Go for it.
I was just going to say to Howard, just before you asked that question, I think they're definitely working on a fourth album. I think there's evidence of that in a recent interview that Babymetal did with Young Guitar magazine. They basically asked him about the future, and he talked about working on the new album with with his creative team, and they talked about maybe doing something a bit more rocky for the next album. So there's definitely talk about the future. So yeah, definitely album number 4 is in the works. Don't know when it's going to come out, but yeah, maybe a little bit of a Bandmate vibe, but who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna turn our moist meter to you two, and I'm gonna put you under pressure here a little bit. I'm gonna say, obviously, you guys are obviously only reacted to some of Babymetal. You've seen a few shows and stuff like that. But what's your are you familiar with the 3 albums yet? Of the self-titled Metal Resistance and then Metal Galaxy.
I've just been listening to the first one over and over again because we put together a top 5 for that album. So we just take it a step at a time. Like for me, I have to listen to the whole album and like just listen. So we have one more song off the second album to react to. Once we finish that, I'm gonna start listening to the second one. Yeah. But I'm one of those people that I'll listen to the same album for 2 months straight, and then I'll move on to the next album. It's just how I've always been. So it works out for me. Because honestly, like this reaction stuff, I fucking love it because it just makes us listen to new music. Like it's motivating to listen to new music because you can fucking enjoy it with the community and like have fun with everybody. Like so, that's why we do this. We just love listening to new music, man. Like it's awesome, and it's it's just a good excuse to start listening, to other things. So
I just wanted to say for Alan, the first time I saw one of your reactions was for Legend S, and I felt like when watching like Sue singing her solo songs, you kind of really felt the emotion of the moment. And I thought that was really cool. I felt it was really like a genuine feeling and reaction. So that was really cool to watch when you guys were doing your reactions on a Twitch video. So that was awesome.
I appreciate that. Yeah, just dude, I get invested pretty hardcore when it comes to music.
No, so. I can 100% tell, and that was.
That's the biggest compliment Paul can ever give you guys. He's never been that nice to me, so. But Eric as well. What about you, man? Are you more familiar with the albums and stuff? Like where does your personal taste tend to take you? Is it like the original stuff, the more metal centric Metal Resistance, or do you like sort of the latest album, which is Metal Galaxy?
I'm kind of all over the place because like I only tend to like download the singles I really like off the albums, and the ones I've been listening to the most have been like Megitsune from the first album, awesome. Night Burn from Metal Galaxy. I've been listening to Amore from Resistance, and like it's kind of all over the place,
Great choices.
Yeah, great choices indeed. Like for me, I'm more. I've always said this. These guys know. I've always been more Metal Resistance. That's my favorite album. The second album for me is my favorite. But like I'm looking forward to a fourth. And I as much as Metal Galaxy would be my least favorite out of the 3, and I really, really enjoyed it. When I say that, people were like, "Oh my god, how can that be the least favorite?" And it's still really good. Like the shittest Babymetal thing is still like fucking phenomenal. It's still like you listen to it and you're like, what the hell is this? Like, how can they change so much drastically? How can you get freaking Karate and then go to Rondo of Nightmare and then have Papaya in the next album? It's just like you wouldn't even put those 3 songs together, like, and they all sound still amazing. But like I said, for me personally, I hope the fourth album, I hope they do kind of go back to that rocky metal sort of phase, and I do want them to go more a little bit more hardcore, more camis. Hashtag unmask the camis. But this is going to lead us into the next segue of sort of things we want to talk about. Unless anybody has anything else about Bandmate they would like to ask.
I'm just going to add quickly to that. I might as well throw my as I've basically been waffling for 50% of this chat. I might as well add a bit more. So, just in regards to the albums, so I first picked them up just after Metal Resistance going into Metal Galaxy, and I listened to the first two. Obviously, the first one was primarily it was a pop album done through a metal filter. The second one was a full-on, really sort of properly written metal album, and I was kind of saying to myself, well, they've done so well on Metal Resistance at doing just such a comprehensive metal album straight out the gate. I was like, they can't try and best that. They're going to have to go in a different direction. So I felt that Metal Galaxy was the correct direction to go in. Now, myself, although I listen to metal, I'm not a huge metal head, to be honest. I find too much guitar gets a bit tiresome for me. So I like guitar bit in along with other things. However, I would still say that Metal Resistance was probably my favorite as well, just on the writing. Just the writing was just so stunning that I loved it from that side. Probably my favorite songs are all on the first and last album, but as an actual album to listen to, Metal Resistance is the most fulfilling start cover to cover, in my opinion. The best album, even if my favorite songs are on the other two.
Metal Resistance, I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like that's the point where people sort of took them a little bit seriously. Going back to what Baki said about, like, obviously, like, bands having a gimmick, you kind of did look at it, and this, I've said this before, admittedly, I listened to Babymetal, or I heard them, I listened to them once for about 50 seconds in about 2014 when I was like 15, and I as somebody that was listening to, like, As I Lay Dying, Parkway Drive, Machine Head at the time, I listened to it for like 30 seconds. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not listening to this. And if I could travel back,
that's a reaction video I want to see.
If I could travel back in time, go to my younger 15-year-old self and just slap me in the face, I would
get into this sooner.
I would, but the positive to that is I went almost, like I said, 7 odd years of not listening to them, and then when my YouTube channel kicked off, and and I'm a little bit more open than 15-year-old me was for music now. I appreciate music a lot more, different genres that, like, when you're in the teenage phase, you just like your favorite shit, and then nothing else matters. Once you get a bit older, you start opening up to different sort of things.
You were 14 7 years ago.
Sorry, my math's probably really off there. So what was it? 2002.
I'm wondering how you've grown a beard, if that's true.
It's the only hair that grows now, believe me. But yeah, the point is like I said, you don't listen to other music and then suddenly you open up, and I discovered it, and thankfully it kind of worked in my favor, because I didn't listen to any of their stuff after that, listening to that first song for like 30 seconds. I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it might have been Gimme Chocolate, but I can't fucking remember. But all I remember is I listened to it, I gave it like 20 seconds, and I never listened to them again for like 7 odd years until they got recommended.
That's most people's first song. I think Gimme Chocolate is like, that's most people's first song.
7 years later, I did it on YouTube.
First time it was Hamburger.
Hamburger, nice.
Yeah.
So
for me, talking about like favorite albums, the first album is a favorite for me, just because it's the album that made me kind of, as I say, fall down the foxhole. And the early shows that they did, they basically played the entire first album, like every song, and so many great songs on that album. You have like IDZ, Headbanger, Megitsune, and then you have the great Black Babymetal songs, and then Sue Solo's doing like Akatsuki and Rondo, and just every song is a hit on that first album. So if I had to pick one, I just
want to close off with one last question for Dicodec before we move on from the Babymetal, which was a question that Demon asked a while ago. He goes, obviously big fan of your guys. He goes, he knows that you guys are covering some Babymetal songs. He wants to know how long that's going to take, how long you guys doing it for, and have you done the dancing yet?
I have no clue how long it's going to take.
we have
Bandmate took us forever. Bandmate took us forever because of the COVID stuff. The Maximum Hormone one has taken us over like 5 months because I was waiting on stuff from because the bass player is in Brazil, the singer's in Korea, so we just got that footage back. So that's the first video coming out, and then coming out with the Babymetal thing. So we found somebody that's going to help us with the dancing already.
Yeah.
And now we're just figuring out how to structure the music video properly. But in the meantime, like I already finished doing the drums. I'm just figuring out the bass, how I want to put the bass down, because the song that we're covering, you know, like I try to not change it too much, but I like to try to enhance it if it's possible. You know what I mean? That's what we did with the MTH song. Like I added solos into it. I added like some octave chords and stuff like to bring it out, made it heavier. That's what we did with the MTH one. So the Babymetal one, I'm like just trying to figure out how to do it in a way that is still awesome, like the original, but but add our style to it.
Yeah,
like, because otherwise it's not a cover.
That's what I believe.
It's not going to be as good, of course, but I don't want it to be shit. Is what I'm saying. Like, because I'm really picky. This is why we take so long to do certain things, because I will not let it go out. Like we have reactions we don't put out because we're just like, because there's some songs we watch and we're just like, wow, that was really bad. Or like, you know what I mean? Or just we weren't into it, just bored as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm not gonna waste people's time with this. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Or
love
stuff
putting
like that.
those ones out.
Yeah. No, we do put some of them out, but like not if it's just something like bad quality audio. We've had stuff like that.
Not if it's boring.
Yeah, it's just like I'm not gonna waste people's time. So yeah, because I know we have reaction out there where we don't like songs or whatever, but at least we have something informative to say though. But if we do a reaction, we have like nothing to say. I'm just like, I'm not putting out something where we have nothing to say.
Yeah.
The same thing goes with the songs. If it's not, you know, like with the Bandmade one, man, I still regret putting out the way that I did, because like I made a mixing error with it that it's gonna bother me for life. So like that's why I wait so long to put out shit. Because I just like to make sure that it's perfect. Or is it perfect as I can at least.
Yeah.
But so
do you do that thing where, I mean, I tend to find this is the best thing, and I'm imagining by the sound of it you do the same thing. You finish a song and you know it's finished, so you give it 2 weeks. You just sit for 2 weeks listening to it every now and then, because suddenly one day you'll go, oh God, that's not what it should have been at all. And
I discovered a hack. I discovered a hack around that. What I do now is I don't stress out about it anymore. I make 8 different masters. You can ask Eric. I sent him like 8 different versions of the song, and like experimental mixes, all that stuff. And I send it out to like at least 20 people, and then I take all the feedback, and then that's how I've been doing it now, because I'm a lot less stressed when I do it that way. So I put up all the mixes on Patreon too. Like right now, I'm about to put all the mixes for the new MTH song. I'll put it on Patreon right now for everybody to give me their feedback, because they're awesome. Like the people over there, they tell me exactly, hey, you should fix this or fix that. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. It shortens the time down, instead of me just like, is that crazy? Is that wrong? You know what I mean? Like it takes that shit out of the equation. It's just so much better just be like, hey, fucking listen to this. I think it's done, but I have a feeling there's something else missing. And they're like, oh, it feels like this. I'm like, that's what it is. And then I'll go change it. That's how I've been doing mixes lately. So it just that saves time for me. But yeah.
I found that one of the techniques that I like to use is that, and I use this for reviewing as well now, after I've heard a song properly a couple of times, is I use the shopping trip method, which is that I basically put it on my headphones and I deliberately try not to pay any attention to it and just sort of play it while I do my shopping until something jumps out at me and I go, it's that moment where something jumps out from the background.
I used to do all that. I used to play it on the radio. I used to do all that. It would go in the car, and then, but I guess I've just been doing it for a while, so now I know exactly how my headphones, my speakers sound. I stopped doing all that crap. I don't do any of that anymore.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it, I used to do that though.
I mean, I've known like the guy who I worked with for the longest time, Steve Gilmore. I mean, he's been doing this for decades, and he always said to me, and I kind of agree with him, which is that you should always add a random element, because the minute you think you've got it nailed is the minute you open yourself up for missing something. So there's always should be a random element in it. So I kind of like your idea of handing it out to other people and sort of, different headphones, different things, allowing them to have that random take on it. Because for me, that really throws the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak. I always try to avoid being too certain of myself. But then again, like you say, you can get into that rabbit hole where you just you don't believe it's ever finished. Anyway, sorry, we're getting onto a technical conversation, but it's interesting because I know that he knows this stuff as well. So it's really great to talk to someone who has opinions on these things.
And if you ever do want to talk about it, you can always. I do mixing streams now, so like I won't stream every day. I've just been going on. I mix on Twitch. So if anybody has questions or like wants to know like weird ass things, I do a lot of weird ass things in mixing. I don't do like typical things that people do.
I'm definitely
normally.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
I help people with that.
Because literally, I've got one Babymetal cover song at the minute in the works that I'm working on. And now I'm relatively new to music again. I used to have a band few years ago in Germany called Eyes Run Black. We used to do like a few tours and stuff like that round there.
Sounds like pop.
It sounds like pop. It was very, 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 very happy music.
To answer Demon's question real quick, Vicky's going to be doing Sue.
Oh.
And then I guess Eric. I'm doing Moa, of course. So Eric's being Yui. He doesn't have a choice.
Who got the short straw there?
So
Yui's cool. I like Yui.
So yeah, our friend Vicky is the one that did the Bandmade cover. She's gonna be doing Sue's vocals also on that. Actually, we just did the Demon Slayer.
Nice.
I just mixed her a Demon Slayer song too. So I did that on stream also. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So
Anyway,
moving.
sorry.
Yeah, no. So moving on. That keep an eye out for that, guys, as well. We've got lots of music coming out from these guys as well, and lots of Babymetal ones that I think you guys will enjoy. Talking about Babymetal and how our channel, in particular my channel, kind of grew. Babymetal was like the first sort of Japanese band that I sort of reacted to, and then that opened the floodgates for me for just Japanese music as a whole. Which again is going back to what Howard said. I goes, oh dude, you cover a lot of Japanese music. How have you not been to Japan yet? And it just opened a brand new world for me. And I've fallen pretty hard. There are some absolutely amazing Japanese bands that I'm listening to now. Bandmade, Love Bites, Unlucky Morpheus. There's just so many bands, so many good music that's going on at the minute. Is there anything, obviously, from what you guys have heard that has taken your fancy apart from Babymetal as well? Anything that like grabbed your attention?
Shu from Gallinarius, I fucking love him. And
Nice.
Nice. Guitarist. Sorry, we just did a reaction to him the other day, and we're just like, fucking just blew my mind. We rewinded that solo 30 times. When that reaction comes out, I am so sorry for everyone that watches that, because we fucking rewind it so many times, dude. And we like, we did it live on stream. What am I talking about? It's still up on the live stream, but we're gonna cut it up and put it separately. But yeah, sorry. That's the most recent thing that comes in my head. But I love a lot of shit. So
like I said, I've covered a lot of Bandmade, but I think my go-to band at the minute, the one I'm really loving. I haven't loved that band probably as much as than I did when I first heard Babymetal again. Is Love Bites at the minute. If you've not checked out Love Bites, guys, you really, really need to do. Miyako on guitar is just.
Especially in their newer stuff, man. The new stuff blew me away. The what's it called? The Winds of Transylvania.
Yes.
And, Glory to the World. Those songs are like, I've been jamming to those songs a lot.
There's a guy in chat called Good. He plays Rocksmith. Really, really good streamer. Go and check him out, guys, if you haven't already. And I just love just requesting those songs.
And Dad found out how to work chat.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, we Love Bites was one of those groups who we checked them out when our channel first started back in 2019, when we came over from the radio to doing the YouTube thing. And I remember the first video we reviewed by them was one that it was so cheap it looked like they'd recorded the music video in their company offices. It was them walking around the office basically. I was like, this is a band who might go somewhere. And then we came back to them with Glory to the World a couple of weeks ago. We just had a long gap without really sort of talking about them, just sort of wondering, oh, maybe they've grown again. And we saw Glory to the World. It was like, oh, okay. Although now they've gone from walking around an office to having some random hairdresser walking around a field in slow motion. So what? It's like Glory to the World. Half of the video is really cool. Half of the video is hairdresser walking around a field. It looks like he's just recovered from having a really heavy night, woken up in a field and gone, must get back to the salon.
I tell you what, I watched that video. I did a reaction to that, and my first comment to that was, you know what, the video was really, really good, but there was like, it needs more love bites. Like literally half of that video was him walking around. I'm like, somebody in my comments actually. I haven't seen the video since. I've been listening to it like through MP3s and stuff. But somebody said that guy was Orlando Bloom, if I'm not mistaken. So what the like,
he looks like him.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was like, and now that somebody said that, I can't unsee it. I just watch it and I'm just like, oh, for God's sake.
It's like emo Bloom.
Emo Bloom.
This is going down the direction of the worst Bandmade. Bandmade have got some great videos, but their worst one was to a song that I quite like, but the video was awful. It was a video for Start Over. And effectively, it did that same trope as Love Bites used there, which is let's record a performance video and then get some Western people to do movie stuff in slow-mo. It's like, this is not the way to reach an international audience. We know a Western person. They have good hair and will do things at a high frame rate. Okay. Not quite the international appeal I think you need to be looking at. But
there's a good,
half the video was great.
There's a good market for Bandmade at the minute. I remember the last time it was a couple of episodes ago on my podcast, but we know that there was an announcement for Bandmade appearing on a Netflix show, which is going to be airing internationally. So that will be massive for them, I imagine.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Bandmade moved over to Pony Canyon. The marketing side has become a little bit more savvy. They're more involved in media general. And for anyone who doesn't know, Pony Canyon are themselves connected to Fuji TV. They're one wing of a much larger sort of media organization, and they're very well established. They're very good. They have access to all the right people. You know, I mean, you could tell the minute that Bandmade signed up for them, rather than trying to squeeze a pop single out of them, they just went, okay, we know what we bought. You do you. And you could tell that they kind of really arranged for Bandmade Classic to be exactly what was produced. So I think that the whole situation with Pony Canyon's been really great. And I do think it's going to be really good for the commercial side. I do think they're going to come out of the COVID period quite strong. Yeah. They were doing very good pricing for their online shows, nice and cheap, getting people in. They've been doing a really strong job.
If there's one band... If there's one band I've been very, very impressed with through the whole pandemic that has absolutely shone through more than any other band, it's Bandmade. Like they've been on it. They'd obviously dropped the new album in the pandemic.
The new album is fucking phenomenal.
Oh my god, dude, that is one of the it's like already we're not even halfway through the year, and I'm already going to say that's one of the best albums that I'll hear this year, like fucking period. And they dropped that in like January, and I was just like, Yep, love it. Love every freaking second of it.
That's the best part about Bandmade too. It's like they release an album every single year, and it's just like
the guys are insane.
Every year. The crazy thing about Bandmade and Babymetal, both those bands were bands I was iffy about in the beginning, which is crazy. Yeah. Now I love both of them.
I think that would be true for most people who are like, you know, into their music, because like I say, they don't present themselves in a way that they give a bit of a confusing first image. It's good for getting wider appeal, getting through to more people by being a little bit kooky, but it is one of those things where at first you kind of think, what am I walking into here? I was really impressed by Unseen World. I must admit, Conqueror is still my favorite album. Still put Conqueror at number one, I'd say. But,
the new album, I hate to say it, it's like, unless you're like I said in the stream, you have to be a really avid music lover in general if you don't play an instrument, or you have to be a musician or instrument and do production and producing. Those are the people that album appeals to, because it is insane, like on that level, right? But I can see if I just showed one of my friends that's not in the music as much or is not obsessed as I am, be like, what the fuck is this? Like, I can totally see him being like, his brain breaks. You know what I mean? Or like,
that's actually that's the one bit where I'd probably actually disagree with you there, because I see what you mean, but I don't think that follows through to the final experience. The reason being is because it's like, I mean, so for example, if you ask me what a really good guitar solo is, and then you play me something which is just mental shredding, and then you play me the end of Hotel California, I'm probably going with Hotel California, even though anyone could play it. Because for me, showing that you have talent isn't necessarily the best way to use your talent. Now, I say this as someone who loves Unseen World, and I admit that Unseen World is probably for people who are more traditionally hardcore fans than I am of like hardcore music. But what really impressed me about Conqueror is that the flashes of brilliance were they were controlled. They appeared at the right points. Konami's writing was amazing. It was very thorough. Each song had a very different identity. Whereas Unseen World, there was more of a uniform tone to it. You know, there were a good few songs at the beginning which were just sort of go, 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 go. And that was great. It was really impressive. But I felt that it didn't have as much restraint in between. So for me,
well, no, that's what I'm
becomes
saying.
one of those
That's what I'm saying.
again.
It's crazy. Like it's not as structured as the earlier bandmate stuff. Don't get me wrong though, I have not listened to a lot of the earlier bandmate stuff yet. I've listened to quite a bit, but I haven't heard everything yet, right? So I also have to listen to the Conqueror album, but it's just that album just unhinged compared to the first ones. Because when I listened to the first bandmate stuff, my initial reaction was, well, this kind of sounds like stuff over here, you know, that I had heard before, you know, like, and then but as I continued to listen to them and keep going, I was like, oh shit, there's more to this, you know what I mean? That's how it started off for me with the bandmate reactions.
So I've got a little bit of a different opinion here. I appreciate you both, but I'm one of those people that if I had the freaking choice and Konami was writing a song, I just turn around to him and go, right, just get the key, take the shackles off, fucking go nuts. Because I appreciate the structure of what you're saying, of having that creative spark and having that timing of doing it in the right place at the right time to fit a song, to fit a purpose of what they're doing. But I'm very much like sometimes chaos is good. Sometimes chaos just appeals to me.
This is where I come up with this. This is where I come up with this issue, because when people talk about chaos, it tends to be chaos is associated with being loud. Now, I would say that one of the most punk.
No, it doesn't mean loud for me. Chaos for me means multiple things happening at the same time for me, not loudness.
But even that, I mean, like one of the most rebellious and punk songs I've ever heard by Bandmate was About Us, the one that recently came out, because of the fact that it was so counter to what people would usually expect. And to me, when you're a band who people know, you know, every song has a solo, you know, you blast, blast, blast. When you throw something out there, because I mean, a lot of hardcore fans, you hear phrases like, oh, and obviously not from guys like you, but from, if you like, more stuck in their ways fans, you hear people saying stuff like, oh, that's not metal, that's not rock, as though that's a constructive criticism. So when you're in a hardcore rock band, to throw out a song that is openly pop, to me, that's chaos. That's when you're going, hey, by the way, pop song, what are you going to do? That to me is a sign of a band who are like, we are going to do what we want to do. So I loved Unseen World. It's got some tracks on, actually it's got some of my top tracks in my top 25 from Unseen World. But for me, it wasn't until they dropped About Us subsequently that I kind of felt like that whole phase was nicely rounded.
Yeah.
When they dropped About Us, I was like, okay, I just needed to see you do that too. Because, you know, you are capable of more than one gear. You've got a lot more gears in the box. So that's just kind of what I meant there. But, you know, again, everyone's got a very different opinion on this. It is all completely subjective. But I've always been a great believer that sometimes the most rebellious, most chaotic things you can do are actually not rock at all. Sometimes it's doing the opposite of that really shows that you've got that.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out probably a really, really unpopular opinion here, but the one thing I do love about Bandmate, and probably the one key factor, I don't know if you guys ever listened, if you listen to the next Bandmate song, like really, really focus on it, is I know a lot of people give a ton of praise. They give a ton of praise, but for me, the person who makes Bandmate is Misa. I can't.
That's a popular opinion.
In a pure musical standpoint, like literally, there's been so many times I've heard so many riffs, and her bass. Like I love Bandmate for the one fact that their bass, they don't hide Misa at all. There's been so many bands where the guitar is so fucking loud and the bass doesn't add anything. It's just purely like adding the undertone to the guitar, which I fucking hate. Personally, I love it. And the one thing I love about Misa is the way when she does her songs, to every fucking Bandmate song, it's incredible. And it's such a different style in everything she does, from picking to slapping. But the way that she creates the song to a completely different bass melody to what's going on guitar, and then there's these little beautiful moments that I just absolutely just love, where the guitar can stop for a split 3 seconds, and Misa just throws in this and it comes out of fucking nowhere. And every single time in every single song, it's something different. It could be funky, it could be metal, it could be rock, it could be pop. But however she does it in those little sporadic like split seconds is just pure genius, and I fucking love it. I love listening to every Bandmate song and hearing that little bass riff and what she does in between everything else, and it just adds a different layer for me.
All I'm gonna say, guys, in the chat, Unseen World, go fucking listen to it.
Yes.
That
Speaking
is
about
the best
me,
sales line you'll ever hear.
Just every single fucking member destroys on that fucking album, and Psyche, like I love how she like just keeps this nice, beautiful melody over it, just to hold all the fucking insane shit that's going behind her. Like it's just like it's crazy. But anyways, like I said, I start off not a fan of Bandmate, but like after that,
It's really hard just to say, just to like give it to one member, you know what I mean? Because everyone adds their own.
They all pull
thing
their
to
weight.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
Konami writes the whole. She puts together the song. Miku and Psyche have been going back and forth with the lyrics. You got Misa with those like bass lines, and Akane just like brings it home, you know, and she keeps it on it. So like it's really hard to give it to just one.
If you stick me in a room with those girls and they all smiled, I would literally just melt. I would just turn into a puddle on the floor. I don't think I could handle that.
One of the things I like is that Miku, I think Miku's somewhat underestimated. I mean, everyone knows her character, but she's underestimated because actually she's really key to the band. Because I know that she's the one who learned guitar to just kind of be in her own band. Yeah. But without someone who's just there to play like the linchpin, solid, simple stuff at the middle, the rest would be a mess. It would be like so like virtuosos everywhere. It would just be like, oh my God, it would be really confusing. So I think having her at the middle is like the solid foundation from which the rest can play off, I think is actually really strong. So yeah, I think there's not a single member you could take out of that band without some serious consequences.
No, not at all.
Perfectly balanced.
They all add something. Miku is just eye candy for days as well. Oh my God.
No, she's the one holding it down. It's like all about the band image and stuff too. So
I believe.
Fucking go listen to Unseen World, chat.
Yes, definitely. If you've not listened to that album, seriously, go and listen to it. It's fucking brilliant.
Try it.
My favorite album of the year so far.
Just try that album. Just at least try
it. Welcome to Bob is how I'm going to read your name in chat. Do you understand Miku's lyrics? My Japanese is to the degree where when I hear a song, I'm not quick enough to get it all the time, but I'll pick up little words. And then when something's interesting to me, when I'm picking up interesting bits, I'll go back and read it. I've read through quite a lot of her lyrics. They've certainly improved significantly in recent years. They used to be a bit shaky. But and actually that's one of the strongest things on Unseen World that people sometimes miss, is that the lyrical quality improved significantly there as well. And massive credit. Clupo, although I did sort of give a middling review to that, I said that Clupo, I think, could have been a little bit more crazy. I was really I think the selling point of that again was her lyrics. Her lyrics were just sort of like taking nice peace and love pop song and throwing in the occasional bit of pigeon insanity.
I do feel like Clupo was.
It wasn't just a solidly done song. It was just a solid song though. It was just solid.
I definitely think that was a
very
solid.
For an April Fool's joke, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was definitely. It was definitely a little subtle middle finger. I was
balancing it against Band Michael. I was like, that's kind of your benchmark you've set for yourself.
I missed Band Michael. That was the one thing I was gutted about. I was waiting for April 1st. I was like, yes, come on, Band Michael, and it didn't drop. And I was like, no, but we did get Clupo. But I do feel like that was like the Miko giving the middle finger to idols, just Japanese industry as a whole. It was so.
I think actually there was more of a love letter. I think it was more of a love letter.
Maybe actually, middle finger is not the right term of phrase, but it was more of a case that, well, I can do this as well, and how easily and effortlessly.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, when she was previously doing, when she was in, when she was a maid and she was actually in that special, yes, they had that little 3-piece band that they were doing. And so she was just doing straight up pop then. And obviously she did all the dancing maid stuff then. And so I think in a way there's a part of her that is, she's kind of that, but she doesn't want to be stereotyped as just being some cheesy little pop star. But there is that degree in her. Same thing for Psyche. Psyche was originally a pop singer. And she had to come across to being, identifying as this sort of new style. And obviously it just fit her. I think all of the members seemingly came from doing much more chilled out stuff. Like Konami was doing acoustic music before. There's loads of videos online of Mochi Todd Cheese where you've got like Akane playing her little cajon. They all came across some much lighter stuff and just decided, well, this is what Miku says will work for us, and Miku was right.
So, being the only person
I think they've all got that little pop star inside of them.
Oh no, definitely. Being the only person who's probably out of us that have seen them, I've been dying to see them, but again, the world's just gone to shit at the minute, so I've not had the chance. What are they like live?
Oh no, they really are. They're one of those bands who, actually going back to something that you guys were saying earlier, when you can tell like something that's honest from something that's disingenuous. They are. I don't like to be one of those hype guys, but they are 100% exactly what you want them to be. I always said that the sort of big characters they have, although there's a degree of sort of playing up for the stage and everything, they seem to just play amplified versions of who they really are. So it's genuine. You see them mucking around on stage, it's genuine. You see like the interplay between them, it's different every show because it is genuinely just them being themselves, winding each other up. And then when they actually play, they're absolutely solid. I saw them at the Line Box show last time, just after the release of Conqueror, actually. Yeah. And because of the introduction of some mid-tempo songs, like Akane was struggling to get in with the beats. It was a beat that she wasn't used to. And there was, she posted something honestly about that online that someone shared with me beforehand, saying, look, I'm trying to get used to these beats. It's not something I'm used to doing. And then in the show, really solid. A couple of times, like occasionally trailing or going ahead, but it was just this feeling that it was very real. It was very real, and yet at the same time, very big. That's just the way they are. They come across perfectly. So, I was really impressed. I thought they were absolutely fantastic.
Did Miku do her Miku magic?
Sorry, guys. I'm texting our drummer right now. I'm not trying to be rude on the phone. It's because we're supposed to have practice at 6. So I'm just letting them know that we're going to be a little late.
No problem. I do apologize.
I kind of like the fact that we have someone in this chat who's actually important enough to have people to text. The rest of us are just here. We've got nowhere else to be. It's like, Iron Man is in demand.
It must be nice.
It's just texting, waiting to overcome moisture. Be there soon. I've seen a few Japanese artists live, as I'm guessing kind of we all have in one context or another. And they certainly, to me, were one of the most impressive. And there was so little theatrics about it. It was just they came on, they played, and they just through personality. So, wonderful band. Really wonderful band.
So, what about you, Eric? Is there anything that from the Japanese world at the minute that's really, really taking your fancy?
Since the beginning, Unlucky Morpheus has been I've been listening to them a lot. They're the one band I could not wait for for us to do a reaction. So I downloaded their latest record. I downloaded some songs here and there from them. I was just like, I could not wait to hear more. Yeah. And I've been jamming out to them.
Fuki is amazing. Like, if there was ever a real life person who looks like an anime character, it's Fuki. She just like
She does, doesn't she?
she's just so perfect. I don't know what other word to say than just perfection. Every time I look at her, she just looks so pretty all the fucking time.
Oh, I love her voice. I love her voice though.
Oh no, her voice is freaking powerful. I actually did a reaction the other night of a song she did a collab with KO, I think it was. Unfortunately, the video got blocked, so I couldn't upload it, which I was absolutely gutted about. Which is going to lead me back to my other segment in a minute, where we're going to talk about obviously YouTube, and obviously doing Japanese music is a fucking pain in the ass. It is a very stressful.
Hey guys, after this, hit me up about that. I have ways of getting those stuff unblocked. It doesn't work with every band, but there's certain ways that you can actually put in the dispute thing that'll actually get it from being blocked within 48 hours.
I'm gonna definitely message
Just hit me up.
Because
I have a whole legal template that I send over and stuff like that will allow it to go up. It doesn't work with everybody, but some people it actually works. Like I've had Sabaton release it for me. I've had a couple Japanese bands release it for me. So it's just there's a way you can word it in the little dispute thing, and it just seems really it is genuine, right? Because we love music and we just want to share it with people. So so I have it worded out in a way where like it kind of convinces them to release it, or the record company will ask the band.
How do you guys handle like region locks as well? Because there's been a lot of times where I've put a reaction to a band that I fucking loved, and then I stick it on YouTube, and then like they'll turn around and go, this video is only available for Japan, and it's like blocked everywhere else in the world.
Dude, I hate when that shit happens. But I just do the dispute thing, and normally that fixes it.
Is that fix it as well? All right, I'm definitely gonna hit you up on that.
Yeah, it doesn't work with Babymetal though.
that's a muse in general.
It's only it's worked with Maximum Hormone for me. They still take all the money, but it's worked with that.
Yeah.
It's worked with I think it was Love Bites. I think I had one that did that too. But they released it and stuff like that. So some of the bands are really cool, and they'll get it situated. So
I've never understood the reason for blocking it. I mean, if you want to, I've said this before. I don't do it to make money, really, off this. Like if
I know why now.
If they, why is it? Why do they block it?
So this guy, he put up a really good video online, and he brought up a really good point for why they block it. So these bands, when they block it, this is their reasoning. So it's part of a publishing company, and the publishing company, makes their royalties and stuff off of that. That's what's really causing the blocks, is a publishing company. So if they make it available for you to put it online, the problem with that is they have tons of deals with these big corporate companies that they sell a list of songs to. So if it's just able to go out on the internet, then the value of that song is lessened when they try to go sell it to other companies to use the music. Like if you use it in commercials, or you use a little part of it in this and that. So if the song is widely available just to put up like willy-nilly like that, it'll drive the price down that song, and they want to make money, right? The publishers are trying to make as much as possible. So that's why it actually gets blocked. I never knew that. I was like, oh shit, that totally makes sense. Because if it's more available everywhere, it drives down the price. And these are for, main bands like Sony and, Babymetal's, I can't remember their company, but they sell, they have huge catalogs that they price out to bigger companies. So that's why they block it, because if it's up everywhere, they're going to be like, well, it's not worth that much, and then they'll do that. So that's the argument behind it. Yeah. Is it fucked up? Of course it is. But that's why I always wondered too. I was like, why the fuck do they block it? I thought the same thing. Like, we're helping you out, but it's not that. It's because a publisher will make less money if it's readily available to be distributed.
Yeah.
The irony is that Western publishers have already caught on to the fact that actually, if your music is going out in reaction form, that actually increases the value, because it means you have a product that people are aware of, and then you can actually sell it as the actual product. However, it's the difficulty, because the whole industry, like you kind of said,
you're talking about the middle wage things. There's the middle companies. Yes, the reaction videos work really well for those, I can't remember the names, like Nuclear Blast. They're not an actual big, huge record label. So that helps them a lot. But to the companies that are above that, like Babymetal, Sony, all that stuff, that shit means nothing to them. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just pennies. So it helps out those lower record labels and publishers, but the ones that are higher than that, they don't actually make as much as they could by selling the catalog.
You're kind of missing my point there, because absolutely, I agree. But that's because of the way that the industry's set up, whereas the industry's changed a lot in the West to make sure that the profits are better distributed. It's because of the fact that the profitability isn't there. You know, they value things on that kind of thing. Whereas you look at like companies in the West, like Universal, and they're aware of that, and they work their whole business model around that kind of thing now. Which is why, you know, you look at what Universal are doing in Japan, and they are more liberal than the companies who are based in Japan, who, like you say, they're not getting any money of it. They're not, the whole sales structure's off. So it is one of those things where my hope is that it will become more like the Western system, something I don't often say, so that what you're saying, which is now currently true, will stop being true in the future. That's kind of my hope. I'm hoping that it'll change that way.
Oh, no, it's not going anywhere. Unless they start doing a lot of changes. Labels. No, and that's why there's indie labels now. That's why a lot of people do indie labels, because even like Nuclear Blast is considered like an indie kind of label, because they're on their own merit. So the reaction for them means something, you know. Like for those companies, it means something. So a lot of bands will start staying away from these bigger record labels. The problem in Japan is they're kind of isolated. It's not here in the US, where you have tons of options. You know, those labels over for Japan help them get over to here. So sometimes they're okay with the reactions, because they're like, well, they're trying to distribute it as much as they can for people to get involved in it, right? Yeah. So otherwise, Babymetal, you know, their label would just like, they take down certain songs, but the reason why they take down certain songs is because they have a quality thing they want to uphold. So they don't want you putting what they deem as a bad video online. From what I was reading with them. So like they like to control that shit really tight. Like any bad recordings and stuff like that, they find that they'll go after it.
And they sell everything, don't they? Everything you can get hold of is on a DVD somewhere.
Oh yeah. it's
That's
crazy.
True. So I always thought it was a bit of a culture thing as well. Japanese music.
Anything with money involved is gonna get tricked. It's gonna get sticky. It's gonna get weird. No matter what. If there's currency involved, this shit's gonna be weird. You know.
That should be what all the legal forms actually say. There's currency involved.
There's currency involved.
I mean that's why like what Eric and I do. That's why we try to like we just give it back as much as possible. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, I can go on a whole.
Yeah, like I said, I don't mind if a music company claims the fucking video. Just let me fucking post it. That's all I'm asked about. There's nothing more infuriating for me than spending 4 hours of my life making like 2 videos, uploading it, waiting for it to go through, subtitling the fucker, only to realize that I spent the last 4 hours doing nothing because both videos end up blocked. Like before like a second, the second it goes onto YouTube. Ooh. And then for the last 4 hours, I'm sat here thinking, well, now I've got fucking nothing to show for it, and I'll just spend 4 hours doing.
Well, we briefly switched over to a format after our initial problem, resetting up the channel and everything. Which, admittedly, you know, that was a whole thing. I probably should have been more prepared for that myself, anyway. But after resetting up the channel, we did a thing where basically the videos just. If you wanted to see the reaction, you had to click on a little link which took you to a YouTube player, which was basically just streaming directly from a Google Drive. And you would watch the reaction there and then go back to the YouTube to see the review. And that basically completely circumvented all of the copyright stuff. But that was obviously a total joke. It was not sustainable. We kept doing it for a while, but it wasn't fair on the viewers, wasn't fair on us. And then I just got to the point where I was just talking to people in the community. I was like, you guys actually really care about seeing me listen to the song, or do you just want to hear my opinion? And then everyone was like, we're okay. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to switch to doing reviews. Yeah. And subsequently, everyone's been fine with that, just doing the reviews and no copyright claims anymore and none of that. And so it depends on what format you feel comfortable with. But I just kind of slipped into doing this review thing now. It gives me more time to make sure I've got all the points that I want to talk about there. I like sometimes. Yeah, I get that. And sometimes there's certain songs that come along and I go, this would have been kind of fun to do a reaction to it. Yeah, so it's a difficult one, but I think I just kind of feel comfortable now. Just like I just make the product, and it's the product, and that's the end of it. So
yeah, see, for me, it's that's why we love the live thing that we're doing now. It's just for me, it's just fun to just talk with everybody. It was like fucking fun just to like chill and just like talk about the song in real time, dude. Like for me, that's the best. I fucking love doing that. Eric and I love doing our Tuesday, Thursday live reactions. It's just so fucking fun, man. Like I don't know, it's just cool because you can actually live the experience that you guys were all referring to earlier of sharing it with your friends and stuff like that. So like I feel like it's just a whole family that we're sharing it with.
Yeah. See, I find myself coming more to Twitch to do these kind of things, like for music and stuff like that, because I feel like Twitch is a little bit more lenient. I feel like if you can delete the VODs after, I feel like you're relatively safe on Twitch.
Really? Can you get away with it on Twitch?
You can. I know. Shh. Don't watch this.
I accidentally leave the vlogs up for a time.
But like I said, I would actually stream more on YouTube. But the thing with YouTube is I feel like sometimes it's a half an experience. There are some types of music you can react to live on YouTube, but there's been too many times I've been like 20 minutes into a stream, and then I get copyright claimed, the stream goes down, and then you panic then.
I'm gonna hit you with a copyright after this.
Yeah,
being on the VOD.
Yeah, so
you better black us
They'll
out.
hit you midstream.
Yeah, they hit you midstream.
YouTube's awesome.
One of our streams got taken down because of that.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
All of my live streams are just us talking crap. Just me and all of the people from the channel talking about stuff that we've all listened to, just sort of sharing things we talk about it. And then maybe I'll listen to something just on one side and say, hey guys, I'm listening to this now if you want to listen to it as well. But I never stream the music through the thing because I just kind of got the feeling that it would probably do that. But I had no idea that they would chop you off. I guess it makes sense, doesn't it?
I just want to point out as well. Sorry guys. We got another YouTuber that's in the chat, so I just want to say a big shout out to Rob K as well. Hello, my dude. There's another YouTuber. Thank you for
popping in. If you don't have a YouTube account, we don't recognize you.
So, how close are you to hitting 100K now, dude? You're relatively close last time I seen you. Thanks for dropping in as well, dude. But yeah, I literally just noticed he was in the chat there. So hi, Rob. But yeah, so there's that kind of setup now where I think I much more enjoy Twitch, even though it's probably the second best platform, because I reckon if you did it on YouTube, I reckon all our channels would grow more significantly, because I feel like there's an audience there. The thing with Twitch is great, right? But Twitch is a very enclosed audience. There's not much room to grow. I don't feel like Twitch is sort of like its own entity. YouTube is massive. It has so many different genres, so many different videos, so many different ways for an audience to reach an audience. Twitch is sort of like its own sort of separate community at the minute. You got the people that are in there, the streamers, the gamers, and then you got the people that do art or stuff for YouTube like we do, where we basically we manipulate Twitch to get our content on our YouTube channels that we couldn't do live on YouTube. But it's harder to grow on Twitch that way. Like most of my community, I mean, I can only speak for myself here from my own personal, but most of my community is my YouTube community. It's people from my YouTube that have come over to Twitch. I find it very hard just to sit here and do reactions and stuff on Twitch and grow naturally that way. So I
just do it on Twitch and then put it on YouTube afterwards. You chop it up and put it on.
But my thing is going back to this is like, YouTube really needs to pull their finger out their ass. Like it's become such a running joke now with the like copyright strikes, claims, things. Now it's got to the point now where like if let's say Howard made a video where he walks into a Japanese shop, picks up a packet of crisps or whatever, says, "This is a packet of crisps. Watch me eat it." Eats it for 2 minutes, goes back home. I mean, I'm on the other side.
Content well.
I'm on the other side of the world, and all I need to do is go up to that video and go, "That's my packet of crisps. Claim your video." for my own. There's nothing there to protect you. Although that's a dick move. Don't do that, by the way. But the thing with YouTube at the minute is it's way too easy for companies to manipulate you and to get your content. Like literally, there used to be a time when I started where it wasn't too bad, but then you could have like 30 seconds of something in your video, and and your video could be live on your YouTube for like a year, and then you won't know it, but it would have been claimed for like 5 seconds of footage. I've literally had like 3 or 4 seconds of a video claimed, and I'm just like, well, surely that's fair use, isn't it? You surely you'd think so. Although I don't have a leg to stand on there because I literally react to like whole music videos, so it doesn't really fall into fair use really either.
It's the 4 seconds that you get claimed for. You react to whole videos, but it's the 4 seconds.
It's the 4 seconds they do me for, and I'm like, what? Yeah. So I feel like that needs to stop. I feel like YouTube would be a better platform for us guys if they could cut that crap out. But I can only see it getting worse as well.
I think that YouTube just have what they do is such a gigantic remit to begin with that it's kind of hard. I mean, they're running their own ecosystem. I mean, they're kind of separate from national laws in a lot of ways. They're somewhat beholden to some of them, but it's such a large ecosystem that they're running that I think they always have to err on the side of safe rather than sorry. And that leads to kind of what you were mentioning there. What was this? Sorry, I got a reply from the singer of I Love Me. To my bread video, and good. I am so sorry. Thank you.
Guys. What I always say is you just work with what you got and do the tools that fit you the best. Like for me, it's all I love the whole community aspects. So that's why I love Twitch, but I also love YouTube because it brings new people to my community to talk about music. As long as I have a bunch of people there to talk music with, I'm happy. In general. I don't want all the crazy as well. Things with the numbers. Like for me, it's all about the people for me because I just love talking to everyone. Like it's just so fun. Yeah. Like that's what makes me keep doing it. Just like it's so nice to be able to share music with other people.
Your videos look like a TV show, though. They look really good. Like I was watching a couple of them the other day, and they look like really nice and crisp. I was like, "Oh, am I watching TV or YouTube?" Holy shit! I was like, "What's this?" So yeah, no, you guys certainly though. I mean, like I say, obviously you got a lot of subs and everything, but I mean, there's a lot of love goes into the videos that you guys make, and you can just kind of see by the whole way it's filmed. It's really sort of beautifully done. I think people respond to that. They see you put that kind of effort into a video. They see you make that kind of concerted effort to make a professional product. And
I just want people to know that I care about the song. The song,
exactly.
It deserves. So people will listen to it and have a good experience listening to it, or hopefully feel like how we were feeling when we were watching it. That's my whole thing. That's why I like to go crazy with the editing with the videos and stuff like that. It sucks. It's a lot of work, and hopefully one day I can get an editor. But
so you do all those zoom ins yourself. You do all those zoom ins yourself.
Yeah. Well, we've had some people help us on the side. Like Eric will edit. My friend Joey in New York, I was teaching him how to edit. He helps me every once in a while. But we did have one person that was helping us a lot, but he kind of dropped off. So I was teaching a lot of people how to edit at the same time. So
yeah. What about you, Paul? As the one
name shame the person. Name shame the person.
As the one content creator. As the one person who's not a content creator here. What do you look for when you obviously see people's reactions or concerts and for music and stuff? What grabs your attention?
I think we had that question already.
Oh, come back.
I might go with the question about other bands in Japan that you've kind of got to know after Babymetal. So for me, like the natural follow on from discovering Babymetal is finding out about the band's history. So you look at a group like SG. It's very different from any of the groups that you might talk about. But you have to look at the origins. So it's natural to get interested in them. And then another band I kind of like is One Ok Rock. They're more so conventional rock band, I guess. They're a little bit kind of westernized in a way, but their older stuff is really good. And I actually went to see them in Dublin. They played a show in like a small venue in Dublin in 2015, and they were like awesome. It was a brilliant show. So yeah, One Ok Rock and a bit of SG to kind of learn about the origins of Babymetal, and kind of got into them a bit more because of Babymetal as well, you know. So that was cool.
Yeah. So that's nice, man. One Ok Rock that's another band I have absolute horrendous trouble with claims.
Yeah.
So I was like,
their new song was very interesting. It was a collaboration with Ed Sheeran.
That was great.
Kind of it's kind of a strange dynamic. Well, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like, he's a great songwriter. His style of music wouldn't really be my taste, but I really enjoyed that song that he did with One Ok Rock. So yeah, it's good.
It was good. It was good. Like I said, moving on, guys. Is there any other bands that take your fancy? I know. Eric said Unlucky Morpheus. What about you, Alan?
I think you're muted.
There we go.
I just didn't want you guys to pick up noise, so I was just muting while you guys. What was the question? What bands? What bands? Like?
Well, guys, it's been great. I'm just going to end the podcast here.
Huh?
Other bands that you think are worth a mention?
Man, I think I've said it. Well, you get. We talk about band. Maximum Hormone. Everybody knows that in chat. Everybody knows how much. So, been an advocate for that band forever. So, I fucking love them. But other bands that I'm like been getting really into was but they always fucking throw me off, and it's Happy Head. I really like them, but then they always throw some nonsense at me that makes me not listen. But man, I don't know. My brain's like fried right now. Sorry.
Have you guys heard?
But yeah, because like the three bands I keep listening to right now is Babymetal, Bandmate, and Maximum Hormone is between all three of them, for different reasons. But yeah, like they filled the cup for me, like just in every aspect. So those are like the three main that I've been listening nonstop to right now. And Unlucky Morpheus, I listen to a lot. The songs that we've done already.
So what does the future hold for Baka Broadcast and Howard? What have you got any future projects and like in the works you can possibly tease for us?
Give up. No. A few things actually. I'm still. Well, there's a lot of things that I'm still finishing. Like I did a little trip around, if you like, COVID Japan in December, and I basically did little videos in each city that I visited, trying to go to places that are not like the normal places and trying to give like personal stories from my own travel. So I got a bit of that coming out. That's not such a big thing. That's just more a thing for people who are generally on the channel. In the future, though, we're leaning more into, I think, like I say, went from doing reactions to doing reviews. When I started doing reviews, it gave me a chance to be much more concise about what I was saying. And then that led me to do a few more album reviews, and then start doing it. And the opinion pieces, I always try to be careful because I don't like to. I'm always very worried about coming across like I'm something more than I actually am. And I say to people, I've worked in the music industry, but I don't want anyone thinking that means that I'm like some sort of top flight producer or anything. It's just I've been lucky enough to be proxy to a lot of these things. So I've been trying to give like opinion pieces, but keep them modest. Try to be honest about my opinion, but try not to sound like I'm full of myself or anything, which is difficult to do.
If you are, you are. Who cares? Just be yourself.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. I'm one of those people who, as you've all gathered from today, I could talk the hind legs of a donkey, but I keep on talking and people keep on listening. But I've been leaning.
I got a really crazy mental image when you said that for some reason.
It is a beautiful analogy, isn't it? Just see this donkey clipping along and it hears something and it's like, oh, where did my legs go? So
I need to invite you guys on more often. There's not a lot of people that can keep Paul this quiet for this long.
So anyone. Then again, if we're keeping an Irish man quiet, we're just giving him more time for the Guinness. That's all I'm saying. National stereotypes aside. But channel wise, I mean, realistically, like I say, one of the big things, and I'll mention this because this is something which is probably appropriate for while we're here. Like I say, because I felt somewhat disconnected from the Babymetal community after we had to restart the channel. And when that happened, it was always one of those things like I said, I don't want to repeat material, but I wanted to go back to sort of being in with those fans, and that community is so good, but I wanted it to be genuine material. So that's one of the things, is going to work up to doing the live stream, sit down, listen through, and then checking, doing a top 25. But I did also mention we cover so many bands. A lot of people in the chat have been mentioning one of my favorite groups, which is Bish. As you can tell back here, big Bish fan. They're absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you want your pop music to sound crazy, then that's the group to go for. They're really out there. So anyone who's into Bish, definitely.
Oh, I do like. I do enjoy.
Do keep an eye on them. Obviously, they're doing lots of things. Also, there's a lot of other groups. I mean, there's so many groups that I've covering. Big fan of Wagaki Band. Can't wait for more of them. Yuko Suzuhana, in my opinion, is probably Yuko Suzuhana, one of the greatest singers ever to live. One of the greatest singers in the world. Even though one of my top people, probably my top person in my Discord community, constantly disagrees with me on that. He's wrong. Yuko Suzuhana, one of the greatest singers ever to live. Big fan. Groups like Silent Siren, love those sort of pop rock groups as well. They're absolutely fantastic. There's just so much stuff that we're covering. So we'll get into all the weirdnesses. But as a general, I just kind of, now we switched over to doing this review format a few months ago. Really want to keep on growing it. Yes, Hard Bros 2021 has said, Yuko Suzuhana, you're right to do the love faces. Yeah, Scandal, we're covering. Sorry, I got the chat down here now. Scandal, we're covering a lot of Scandal stuff. Reza Suellen, I still don't know how to pronounce that, but that's another group who we want to cover more of. There's a lot of this kind of thing. What's this? Nemophila. Yeah, we did.
Oh,
Nemophila. The first song I thought was quite good. The most recent song that most recent one, I did a review where I wasn't 100% complimentary about that. And I was surprised how many likes I got on that video, which was really reassuring. Again, it shows the Nemophila fans, they're balanced. They could take the fact that I complimented it and disliked things about it at the same time. And by the way, Tom from JPU, who is a friend of one of my co-founders for the channel, he was posting that since he signed Nemophila, apparently they are the fastest pre-order he's had of any band he's ever signed, and he's got like all kinds of things, Bandmade, Scandal, all of that going on. I think even Unlucky Morpheus, maybe, I don't know, I'll check.
I know, but Nemo's definitely popped out of nowhere, it feels.
They're a super group, aren't they? It's like Mary's Blood and some other groups went together, wasn't it? Something like that. I think they're still finding their feet. To me, it sounds like a group who are trying to work out what they want to be. The talent's all there, but they're trying to work out what they're going to be. That's what it sounds like to me. That's fine if they're experimenting. Good for them. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes in the future. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes of that.
They're blowing up right now, cool. So it's like they're going to be huge. They'll be in that league soon, I think.
Can I just drop one name in? Sorry, it keeps on getting mentioned, and I forgot to mention it, which is if you like Genuinely Insane and you want it in pop format, then Necry Talkie, who we refer to as Necro Toffee, do check out Necry Talkie. That is quite possibly the most insane band currently going around, and they are really, really, they're awesome. So that's another one. Necry Talkie is a good one to check out. Sorry, I'm getting a couple of people are dropping stuff in.
There's one group that I found recently. They're not a lot of people. I just found them randomly. They're called Wagamama Rakia.
Rakia.
Yeah.
Wagamama Rakia.
Those guys are good. I just like stumbled upon it randomly, and they kind of it's like right up my alley. I really, really like them.
Everybody's going for like really, really decent bands, and I feel like the odd one out here because I've been like enjoying a lot of Lisa recently.
Lisa's awesome.
Badass.
So
by the way, just on the
I was going to say Lisa.
I literally just been listening to those three bands nonstop that I mentioned earlier. That's all I've been listening to.
I was going to say
I love
Lisa.
What you said about how you repeat listen to albums, though, because that is a really good way to take in music. I love that, like you were saying, you repeat listen to an album before you move in, take it in, you get into it. it's a really good approach.
Yeah,
I think.
Paul, what were we gonna say
More
though?
people should do that.
Yeah, as Lisa, Leon mentioned Lisa, she's someone I've got into quite recently. And like I really love her voice. That she has these videos on YouTube. It's first take videos. It's like really stripped back, and it's just her and a microphone and a guy playing a piano.
right?
And I love those videos so much. And she's like really pouring her heart out when she sings. And there's one song she sung where she like literally like started crying at the end because the song meant so much to her and the meaning of the lyrics, and it made her think about how difficult it was like to get to where she was, and kind of really felt, you know, she was pouring all of her emotions into her vocals, and she really felt it. And I kind of feel that when Suzuka sings her solos, she puts a lot of emotion and feeling into her song, into her lyrics and her singing. So Lisa is probably my, I guess, favorite solo singer in Japan. Maybe second favorite vocalist overall. She's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, we did the reaction to that also, and I teared up at that. She made me lose it, and then I had to go mix that song. While I was mixing that song, I was like tearing up, like I like just, oh my god, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to mix it, and like I was like, oh fuck, you know. But but Elisa's performance on that was just so fucking incredible. Like,
absolutely.
I haven't heard much from her. We're gonna listen for sure.
She's definitely.
I love what I've heard already.
She's definitely one of the few artists where, like, obviously, being Japanese, being a language I don't quite fully understand. I'm picking up pieces there and then, but just hearing, seeing her performance is incredible. Like you really feel the emotion of her, and it's not very often. Yeah. There's two types of reactions. I think you always get that like insane, oh my god, what the fuck thing when you're doing it. But then there's those songs that really come out of left field and like really surprise you. That can like just pull your emotional heartstrings. And
Lisa does both, like Leon. Lisa does both. Like she has those really powerful songs that are very emotional. Yeah. But then if you look at her concerts, like she's the ultimate like showman on stage. She like really has fun on stage and has fun with the crowd, and you know, so she has those two sides to her. You know, the soft side and then the energetic entertainer side to her as well. So. That's cool to see, you know, both.
Suzuki's the one artist, and I'm probably going to get a bit of beef here, but I would love to take Su Metal out of Babymetal and just have a one-off
Careful.
Yeah, sort of a one-off song. So I'm not saying leave, a one-off song, sort of like what Miku did with Kloppo.
I was about to say, yeah, Miku did it, so
and not? just have a Suzuka song. Like Fox, like just for one time only, pure smiles, just pure Suzuka. Because I reckon she as a performer and as an artist and as a singer, I do honestly think that would be phenomenal. I really do.
While you do that, I will live stream a video of Moa sitting in a chair quietly on her own. So
nothing will change then.
You just lost all your songs, man. You lost all your songs. I'm good. My job is done. I'm out.
Moa could play guitar for her.
Yeah, she could do that. I'd love to
see that save. Look at that save.
Look at that save.
Decodec subs. EP subs down.
I'll post this to just like lose 1,000 subscribers like the next day. Jesus,
it's gonna be like a really upset retraction where you're standing in front of a backdrop going, I need to address the controversy over my comment.
These guys know I've got a sense of humor, so they know where they all know I love Moa. Really, Moa Metal.
They got this far into the chat without working that out. I know. And they haven't been listening. Yeah,
Moa Metal is best metal. So yeah, but I would, honest to God, I feel like just taking Suzuka out, or even putting her in a pop rock, punk sort of scenario. I know her dad was obviously a famous punk rock star. So I mean, I would love like a one-off again, Sue like punk rock song, just to like maybe like a little tribute to her father. I feel something like that would be fucking awesome as well.
Can I just address Pewbacker's comment in the chat where he said, Sue, best queen, Moa, best angel, Yui, best former member. That's damning with faint praise when they've only got one former member. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You have to work harder on this. Oh, dear. By the way, for anyone...
Can we bring Mikio back to life?
I know. Dude, don't get me started. Like literally, every time I hear Starlight and stuff like that and Shine, I just, again, this probably comes back to what Paul was just saying, like that emotional attachment. Every time you hear those kind of songs come up for Babymetal, it's just, oh man, it pulls at my heart. It pulls at my heartstrings.
Well, for me, it's like, damn, I just got into this band and then he's gone, and it's like, fuck, it's like, what the hell, So
I think it's a massive testament to them, though. I mean, like I said, we joke and we take the piss, saying obviously, Babymetal might not be able to do this or this or this, but they've lost one of their key members. They lost one of their guitarists who had such a reputation and built up such charisma with Amora and the other camis on stage. It was such a prominent thing during the Metal Resistance era. And they lost a lot around 2018, and for a lot of people that say that they may be better or worse off for it, you, at the end of the day, no matter what your opinion is, you got to give this band props because they've powered through it, and I feel in a different way than most bands would. Just like Iron Maiden, for instance, if you lose your singer or you lose a band member, your first reaction is to go and replace them, to go and plonk somebody else and to fill that void, and they didn't. They soldiered on. They did something different, and they got mad respect for them for that. So, because I
laugh at the worst moment.
I don't think there's many bands that could do that, to soldier on in that way.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're gonna get going because we really got to get to practice. We're already pretty late, so
not a
we're
problem,
going, guys. You guys have a good one. We have these music videos to plan out and all that good stuff. So
that's fine, mate. That's fine, man. Thank you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it.
Next time we'll make sure that the practice day is not on the same day. I was gonna ask, unless we can move it to Saturday, but I don't know. I don't think Eric can. So yeah, we probably should get going to it.
That's not a problem, man. Well, thank you for joining us on the show. I really, really appreciate it, dudes.
Yeah,
hey, everyone in the chat, love you all. Thank you so much. Stay fucking awesome. All right. It wouldn't be possible without you
as well.
I appreciate you guys.
A pleasure to meet you.
And a pleasure meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Down to do this again in the future. Just let me know. We'll be there. So
thank you, guys.
That was fun, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being here. So, and enjoy your practice, and thank you so much. How long have you guys got? Are you going just right now, or could you answer a few questions before you go?
I can stay on the phone. It's just the audio might get a little weird. I can stay on the phone because it's an hour drive for me. So
okay. You've got 5 minutes, chat. 5 minutes. If you want to ask Alan and Eric any questions, quick.
Let me get in my car and I'll answer questions while I'm in my car. It's fine because I have a mount and stuff. So
all right, there you go.
And then there you go. You guys can ask Eric questions first, but yeah. But Eric also has to go eventually too. He's closer though. He's only 15 minutes away. So. Yeah, we're crazy. Eric and I drive an hour to each other to do these reactions.
That's commitment, man. Commitment. It's good.
You get used to the drive though. It's okay.
Yeah.
Did put trousers on, right?
I get to listen to those 3 albums on all the time. That's how I listen to them so much.
So
I'll be right back, guys.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. So,
right, now he's gone. Let's talk about those thighs. What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I was
put some trousers on, man.
I don't know. I was looking at those legs, and it made me pretty moist. I must admit.
God, not you too.
Moistness and the levels intensify.
Yeah, I know. It was like yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
we got the man who touches his thighs and the man who wants to touch his thighs.
That's what it's all about. So I'm going to put Eric under a little bit of pressure then. Right now.
All right.
So if you guys want to ask Eric anything, because I don't know obviously the quality of the feed when Alan comes back, so we'll hammer Eric. until.
All right.
Yes, please, baby. Thank you, sweetie.
I can hear those dining room sounds.
So yeah, the massive room. She's just brought a laptop in, and the whole room just lights up. It's so loud. I apologize.
He's in front of his pentagrams, but you can hear his wife turning up for breakfast. Hello, honey. Yeah, I'm just in front of the pentagram.
So, but yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, if you've got any questions that you want to ask Eric, guys, anything at all, we'll pick out a few. Demon just says, I want to know their favorite songs off the 2 favorite Japan bands and quickly why.
Leon, can you hear me?
I can hear you, dude. Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you. So stay.
You got to refresh.
I got to refresh. Boop. There we go. Oh,
Where are you?
There I am. So eventually, it takes a little while to computer generate everything in. I'm not really real. So yeah, so go, Eric, go.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
So your favorite song from your 2 favorite Japanese bands and why?
Unlucky for Morpheus, Black Pentagram, and Knight of Sword, and then I'm gonna say, it's fucking tough. I'm gonna go with
Don't worry, you're buying me time.
Babymetal, Megitsune, and Nightburn.
Nice. And now Howard's ran out of time. What's yours, dude?
I must, to be honest, I mean, 2's a bit difficult because there's more than 2 genres of Japanese music that I like. I would say the 2 songs that I'm probably listening to currently the most would be Bubble by Bandmade and I Know Esper by Silent Sirens, one that's kind of always somewhere around there because that song just fixes any day. You know, you put that on, you feel good. Yeah. So they're probably the 2 songs I've got most regular circulation. But I mean, I want to say stuff like Survive by Wagamama Rakia. That's one I listen to a lot as well, but probably not as much as the other 2. But it just changes from day to day. Good question, though. Good question for making us put our names to something in the heat of the moment.
Paul?
IGZ by Babymetal and Akatsuki by Su Metal.
Shit, I didn't say Babymetal. Damn, I lost my subscribers.
So I love how he weasels his way around there. So
Paul just showing me up there.
Loon has a question.
Just said Jedward.
Loon has a question. I'm going to let Paul answer this one first. What makes Yui the best member of Babymetal?
I saw that.
I think he typed it wrong. He meant to say Su Metal. What makes her the best? She's just the best. That's the answer.
I think she's got the legacy trait, which is once you're gone, can't do any wrong.
I don't know about that one.
No, but leave you hanging on that one there.
And to ask Eric, will there be another stream with Grandma? Yes, there will be another stream with Grandma. She's a fucking trip, dude. We did a stream with Alan's grandma once, and that lady, she's like super funny, super outrageous. She's fucking great.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I need to see this. Yeah.
I think it's still on Twitch. I think the VOD.
But I'm gonna check that out after. So I would love to invite my grandma, but unfortunately she passed away years ago.
About to say I haven't got a Ouija board, so I can't invite my grandparent. Grandma reacts. It's just a Ouija board with things moving.
we got.
Oh, that's a channel. I'm doing that. That's my channel. Grandma reacts. Just a Ouija board.
we got another question, which is a bit of a different one from Good. He asks, what kind of Babymetal song didn't you like and why, if there is one? I'm gonna put Paul under pressure again this one because he's the Babymetal fan. Go on.
Okay, I'll start off by saying I love all Babymetal songs, but one that I'm not as crazy about as the others would be Metataro. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I prefer other songs. Yeah.
Go on, I'll let Eric answer this one then.
There's I'm like gonna get a lot of shit for this, but there's one Black Babymetal song that I find to be super duper repetitive. I just forgot which one it was.
Party song 4.
Probably.
Yeah.
Song
Yeah,
four's
maybe
not
for-
repetitive, isn't it?
Well, they say young a lot, so is that what you're talking about?
No. It wasn't that one.
Oh, no,
There's
a different
another
one.
Yeah.
That one changes like a lot.
GJ,
That one's badass. I love that one.
Sis Anger.
Sis Anger,
No.
maybe. I used to listen to that one a lot though.
Okay. What about Only Daddy Dice Hasken?
No.
No.
That one either.
It's got to be one of
There's
them.
another one, yeah.
So Black
It might have been you.
I say I
You
can't.
only have
I love Black
there's
Babymetal.
only 4, so
It might have been 4-4 then. Yeah.
What about you, Howard?
Oh, I nearly dodged
Yeah.
that bullet. Why would you do that to me? Actually, to be honest, the one that, although again, there's not any that I necessarily dislike, the one that I had the most trouble with, and this one's really going to upset people. I keep on forgetting. I think it actually is called The One. It's the one that is for the fans. And I think if I saw it live, I would like it. But listening to the recording, it's too slow. It's too plodding.
Yeah.
It isn't quite as, I mean, it's big and dramatic, but they've got much more big and dramatic. It just kind of feels like it's very much a song that's only designed to be sung along with and doesn't really stand up on its own merits otherwise.
It's a great song live. When you hear Sue singing it,
see live.
especially when she does the Japanese version, it's extra special to hear that one live. So
actually, I want to change my vote. You just made me think. I really like Elevator Girl, so I'm going to say the song I dislike is the English translation of Elevator Girl, where they realize that when you translate the song, you have to remember to put the syllables in the same place.
I agree.
The syllables are in different places, which trashed the chorus. So I changed my vote. I love Elevator Girl. The English version of Elevator Girl is the song that I'm going to put at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. Like they
did a
didn't
whole
need to
video
do
just about that. I did a whole video.
They didn't need to do an English version of that song. Like there's already some English lyrics in it, and I much prefer the Japanese version. So yeah, I'm going to agree on that one.
The chorus is so dependent on the vocal rhythm. The chorus is all about the vocal rhythm.
No, the original version is the best. The original version is so much better than the remake. Yeah.
I don't really have a song that I hate. But though I'm
gonna bet on your own question.
I know, but the one song I do find myself skipping, which is a bit of a trick answer, to be fair, because I hate the record version of it. I don't hate it. Hate's a strong word. But I tend to skip it. But I love watching the song on the concerts, which is Imagine I don't know why, but when I listen to it, when I listen to the record, when I listen to it on a CD, it just doesn't do anything for me. But when I watch the concerts, when I watch it live, the dancing, and then as it's after I've got like a few songs underneath my belt and I'm pumped, I love it. But listening to that on the album,
can I change my vote again?
So
we're going to keep changing our votes.
We got to react to that one.
It's really bad that I've now opted for free songs.
Free songs.
Kind of burying myself here.
Not looking good in the eyes
How
of the
low can
community
it
right
go?
I might survive
I
this.
told you guys you
like.
only get honesty from me. And I'll tell you what, if you can say which songs you don't like, it makes the ones you like worth a lot more. I actually made Paul disappear from chat. Oh, no, that's not. He didn't. Oh, someone else has come in. Oh, hello. Welcome back. It's Thigh Man.
It's the
Thigh Master.
Moist
the Thigh Master is back. Moist Man. Oh.
Moist Man.
So, hang on, let's see if we can see any more questions. Lucky, I can't listen to Elevator Girl without hearing Neon karaoke. I'm so sorry for butchering that.
My ears were ringing when I heard say that it doesn't stand up on its own. Like, what? Yeah, it's all Not all day.
We can't hear you, moist man. We can't hear you.
So the sound's a bit dodgy, man. Demon asks a question solely for Eric here, and he goes, "Will you get in the pit, pussy?"
I'll go to the toilet. Be right back.
And for Paul, what's your favorite concert ever? So we'll start with Eric because I have no idea what that means. So I am gathering.
It's a little story. It's a little story that I told on stream once about my mom. Basically, my mom went with me to a concert, and there was a mosh pit going on in front of us, and she said, "Get in the pit, pussy." And it's hilarious because my mom is like a very religious, like Catholic woman.
Yeah.
And like it was just so out of fucking character. It caught me so off guard. And I was just like, well, shit, I have to get in the pit now. Like my mom's calling me a pussy. So.
And what's your favorite concert ever, Paul? Pearl? Is he there? I think he might have crashed. Oh.
Buffering.
Oh, he's buffering.
Welcome to my new game show. Did Howard wash his hands?
I'll deflect this to Howard then. I think Paul's frozen. What's your favorite Babymetal concert, Howard?
Concert?
Yeah. What's your favorite? Yeah.
I've never actually been to a concert. Like I say, I got screwed on tickets the one time I had a chance. To be honest, I find it very difficult to say a best concert from tape. I don't think I've actually ever seen a concert from start to finish on tape. Tape's such an old-fashioned word. So it would be hard for me to really judge. When it comes to like seeing the videos, I tend to sort of slip in and out of different ones. I've never really sat and watched one from start to end because to me it's very hard to do that unless it's like an online live performance. Or unless, I've actually been to a concert. So I don't think I could really pick one. I could just say like, oh, I liked this performance of this song, rather than I liked this concert most. That would probably be beyond me.
All right, fair enough. What about you,
Legend
Eric?
S was such a good concert. Legend S, like I think they had the best set list for that one. The quality was just amazing and it floored me. So I go with Legend S.
So I'm going to be biased, and I went to go and see them live in Manchester. So for me, that will always top everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So seeing Paul's not here, I'll do the flex.
All right, guys, I got to dip out now too.
Really?
Yeah.
So all right.
Yeah, I got to get a practice.
Means you're all alone with me.
Well, so we're gonna wind down now. Anyway, I feel like Paul's having a few issues. Eric's on the way out. So thank you, my dude, for joining us. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank Alan as well when you see him, and go and enjoy your practice, my dudes. Thank you so much for being on the show, and I really really appreciate it. So
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Have a cracking rest of the day. So see you
too, guys.
my man.
Bye, guys.
See you.
Bye.
All right. Who in chat wants to see Neon talk to me for 2 hours about sweaty thighs?
Sweaty thighs. Oh, you know what, Howard? I thought you'd never ask. Right, so my favourite set of sweaty thighs. Oh, the moistness is real. The moistness is real. Let me back out so I can just get Paul back on.
Just me now. Welcome to Baka Broadcast. This is now my channel. I take over. No one else is here. How do I block everyone else from chat? Get out of my broad. Oh no, he came back.
I think I don't think my system was able to take Alan coming back.
So yeah,
I think there's too many connections from too many different parts of the world.
I'm gonna save buttons for another episode. I know he wants to jump in, but I know we've been streaming for now? About coming on to 2 hours already, and it wouldn't give him justice to jump on now, because we've probably got about 20 minutes left, and then I'm going to finish it anyway. So I definitely want Buttons on. I've asked him before, and I've asked him before to come on the show. But yeah, no, I definitely want to dedicate an episode just to solely him and some more guests.
All right, Neon, are you ready for quick fire round?
So yes, go.
Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Bandmade or Scandal?
Bandmade.
Whoever just said Pepsi, I love you.
So, well, Eric's managed to go, man. So if you're driving and stuff like that, he's on the way to practice. I can tell you're on the way to practice as well. So
yeah, I was about to say, did you guys see my questionnaire? It was like, why the hell is Eric not going to practice?
I think he's seen that. He was like, "Oh shit, I better go." He's been told.
He'll fucking hear it all practice. Like, motherfucker, you live right there.
Well, dude, I want to say a big thank you as well from me and for everybody in the chat as well. We've all enjoyed you being on the podcast today. So yeah, thank you, man, for joining us from your home, for showing us your lovely man thighs, and also from your car as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
It's currently very moist. The car is very hot. I'm perspiring.
Come for the music, stay for the thighs.
Brilliant. Well, like I said, man, thank you, man, for joining.
Son is brutal. Fuck.
So Penta says, tell Eric to get in the pit, you pussy.
We actually have T-shirts too. We're gonna get a picture of his mom and put the quote. I don't know if you guys know the story, but it was a story like his mom had to drive him to a concert, and because he was underage at the time, so they took him and his brother, and there was a mosh pit going on, and she like went up to him, and she's like would never say anything like that out of that, or she's very like proper, you know. And she so that's why it was so fucking hilarious, because like he's just standing there and he went up to her and she's like, what are you doing? Get in the pit, pussy.
I love his mom already.
He got in the pit. He got in the pit. So we made a shirt dedicated.
Demon's got a quick question for you. He wants to know what your favorite your favorite songs from Japanese bands.
Favorite bands, favorite song from each.
Every single Maximum Hormone song, every single Babymetal song off that first album, every single song off of Unseen World. I think I covered it. I don't have a favorite song. It's so hard. Like, it's really hard for me to be like, this is my favorite song. Like, I've said this before. Like, I can't. This is the same thing as it goes with that. Like, I can't dedicate myself to one thing or one song. I love music too much.
I understand that so much.
Just narrow it down to one. So I always say, like, I love music too much to be like, I'm dedicated. I just can't do it.
The chat wants you. The chat also wants you to not get out of this. They want to know what your least favorite Babymetal song is.
Oh yes, you can't get out of this.
Yeah, you can't get out of that.
I have one because I feel like it's funny because somebody was what I was yelling earlier when you guys. I was like, my ears were ringing because I was like still watching the Twitch stream. Somebody was saying one wasn't gonna stand up on its own. I was like in my house, like, what the fuck is he saying? I was like, I love that song. I fucking love that song. I can listen to it all day. No, it's all good. It's all good. We all have those songs. Like, I do. Funny though, everything you said about the one is how I feel about that one song, Meta Taro. I think it is. That's how I feel about that song.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that one I have to be at the for. I mean, I love it now because like when I'm having a time watching the concert. But like that's definitely one of the songs I'm not gonna listen to car probably.
Yeah.
So I like that song, but I can totally see what you mean.
That was my one as well.
We are struggling to hear you a little bit there, Alan. You are cutting out quite a bit as you're driving.
I cut out again?
Yeah.
Fuck. Wasting all my energy.
Just see this white void outside his car, and I assume he's driving through like the fifth dimension or something. He's going to bump into the Matrix any moment.
So,
He's going to get his training from Morpheus right now.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You're going to get your training from Morpheus right now, just driving through the void.
Matrix car.
There's a point in time where I would be like super crazy. I'd be talking on the phone. I drive with my like I'm stupid when I drive.
Hold on.
Eric
Reaper.
shitless to drive with. He's like, bro, put your hands on the fucking wheel. I'm like, my knees are on the steering wheel. What do you mean? I got it.
So,
Reaper, what's on the cup? What's on the cup?
Oh,
see your cup, and I want to know what's written on
it. It says, "I keep hitting the space bar, but I'm still on Earth." It's a very bad dad joke.
I bet that works up to a couple of hits.
All I heard was space bar and on Earth. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
I think you pretty much got the joke already then. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep hitting the space bar, but I'm still on Earth. Yeah, it's a very, very bad dad joke. My daughter bought me it, so it's all right.
I'm also retarded. It's okay.
Hearing that word broken up over the space of 10 seconds due to a bad internet connection is wonderful.
So, it is so it is so much great. Do you have any more questions for Alan, guys? Now, like I said, now's the time to hit him up before practice starts. What I'm going to do is
20 minutes. So
yeah,
it's an hour drive. We're good.
We'll ask Alan a few little questions, then we'll focus on Howard, and then we'll start winding down. I think
my time is going to come to an end eventually as well. I've got to go to work.
Okay. So we'll hurry this up then. Both guys.
Let me just message my client. Give me 1 second. I'll message my client.
Not a problem.
Carry on.
So we'll leave this one with Paul then. So Paul, obviously, when it comes to your musical tastes and stuff like that. Okay, I've never actually asked you this before, but apart from Babymetal, what tickles your pickle, man?
Before Babymetal, I was a Linkin Park fan. In the early 2000s, their first two albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora, were big albums for me growing up.
Yeah.
So Linkin Park. Before them, before the early 2000s, I guess, was more into hip hop. Listen to rap from the 90s and people like Nas and Biggie Smalls, Eminem, different stuff like that. So it was kind of hip hop, then kind of new metal into Linkin Park, and then more conventional metal, and Babymetal. So yeah,
it's a nice little progression there. I just want to say onto the chat as well, Alan's getting an awful amount of love in the chat right now. Everybody just wants to say a massive thank you, dude, for turning up today and being here. Like I said, we all very much appreciate it. So everybody's just saying thank you for joining.
I wish I could respond, guys, but I cannot pull off. If I look at the chat, I can't see the chat right now. Sorry, but thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
This is a good question from Omi. He goes, minor bands maybe other people don't know that you think deserve a push, need a push, or a little bit more attention on them.
Is that a question for me?
Or just anybody.
Guessing it's for you, Alan. Yeah.
Just anybody in general.
As Alan's on a time limit, I'll let him go.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go for Alan first then. So, any small bands that you think need more attention, deserve more limelight?
Dicodec.
Never heard of them. That's one way to do it, I suppose. Free advertisement.
I mean, I don't know.
If you're in the chat and you haven't already followed these guys, go and do it. Go and be a Dicodec fan. easy freebie. I love it.
I would say, I would say if you're into rock, then one of the best bands you should be checking out right now is Trident. do check out Trident. They came together from a group called Girls Rock Band Kakamai, and then they sort of broke up and reformed. And the stuff they're doing, a 3-piece band, the stuff they're doing right now is absolutely just spectacular. I really would recommend Trident to anyone. So if you're into rock, they're a great one to go to. There's a Thai group who a lot of people have been suggesting to me. I haven't got around to reviewing them yet. They're called Elise. Apparently they're really good. I don't know, but a lot of people have been telling me they're great. So check them out. I can't vouch for that myself, but Trident would be my go-to rock band. If you're into stuff that isn't, if you're into stuff that's kind of different from rock, then like I say, groups like I Love Me is a group who we've been covering a lot of interest in, who they're really great. But there's so many bands. I would really by the way, okay, I've got till past. My client just agreed to put that back, so I'm fine till past. But yeah, there's so many groups. I would say we've covered a lot of them on the channel. I don't want to sound like I'm just sort of saying this, but you know, if you go through our channel, you're going to find a lot of groups that maybe you haven't heard of. We do a lot of those ones that are very low hits. But just really trawl through YouTube. If you're the sort of person who just wants to, you know, trawl through YouTube, trawl through Spotify, just let the songs wash over you. But if you're looking for new rock groups, I would say Trident would be my go-to. And give Silent Siren some love. I know they're big, but they're not as big as they deserve to be. So give them some love.
There you go. What about you, Paul?
I got a serious answer once you guys give me.
Go on. Go for it, Alan.
A band that I just listened to was Bloodywood, and
yeah,
I think they need some more love. Maybe they already have a lot of love. I don't know, but I thought their channel was pretty damn fucking good.
They are very good. I've only listened to one or two songs, but
we're reacting to like a few more this week. But man, and then there was a Japanese band, and I can't remember the but I guess they're up and coming, and we did a reaction a while ago, and I hate myself. I'll look it up. I'll put it up. I'll send it whenever. Japanese band that we do. We've done a lot of small Japanese bands, quite a bit of them that I think love.
Yeah. So. Oh, nice one. What about you, Paul?
I could see Penta in the chat wants me to say 1.5, and I would definitely say 1.5 because they're just starting out and they need they should be big. Lisa should be bigger than she is. She's awesome. She doesn't get enough credit. Ooh. And Lisa, and for a band, I would say Mutant Monster. If you guys know about Mutant Monster, but they're like a 3-piece, I think 3-piece Japanese kind of punk rock group. But they just do tiny little venues in Japan, so I'd like to see them more shine, you know.
Yeah. And another one, just as we're spewing out names, this is a good place to do this. Yabai T-shirts Yasan. A bit of a hard one to remember for Google, but if you haven't heard of Yabai T-shirts Yasan, they're really kind of, they mix that sort of crazy Nick Raitoki thing I was talking about with a little bit more of a rock attitude. So nice. If you like your rock a little bit on the loony side, Yabai T-shirts Yasan are a great go-to band as well. Mutant Monster are good, actually. I forgot about that.
I'd probably go for 2. I'm a big fan of like screamo metal, so probably not everybody's cup of tea, but I've really been enjoying a band called Broken by the Scream. So really, really overrated. Very, very diverse, different. I
might have reviewed them before.
But yeah, I can appreciate they're not everybody's cup of tea. But that's one of the reasons why that's why I love them, because they're so unique. There is nobody that sounds like Broken by the Scream, whether or not you love or hate that. They're very like you listen to that, and I love it. I never
heard them.
I love the fact that they're
By the Scream is that point on the old analog radio where you're between 2 stations and you can hear them both at the same time.
Yeah, it does. It's like 2 different genres at once, and it's amazing. I'm gonna throw out on a freaking really, really British freaking thing here, but they're like Marmite. You either love them or you fucking hate them. I don't think
I did that one already, mate. We got that. We got the Marmite. You and me know what we're talking about.
I thought that was an Australian thing.
So
Vegemite.
Yeah. And my
tar and oil in our one.
And my second choice is a band that's probably not really well known. And again, it's probably not to everybody's taste, but I love their fucking energy and the smiles. And like, again, maybe listening to their CDs may be a bit of a repetitive, draining experience. But I'm gonna go off the live shows that they do, which just looks they're rough as fuck, but they're so energetic, and I fucking love it. My second band would be the Let's Go's. I don't know if anybody's heard them.
I've got an interview with their bass player.
Dude, if you do, please hook me up. I would love.
We're doing a drinking interview. We're going to drink and do questions at the same time.
Please.
Because she's a beer drinker, I'm a beer drinker. You know that she recently left.
Sounds recently
left the Let's Go's. So but yeah, we've got an interview with her. She's absolutely fantastic. By the way, just to quickly, Hard Bros, you mentioned about Passcode and Bish. Totally agree. I think Passcode are a little bit of an acquired taste, but I certainly think they are one that I would love people to check out just to really test their tastes. Bish are massive anyway, but always. Also, Sokoninaru. Sokoninaru, if you're a fan of Passcode, you would definitely get something like Sokoninaru.
Sokoninaru. Sorry, I forgot that was the band.
That was the band. There you go.
Yeah, I fucking love them. The 4 songs I have, I fucking love them. That was the band. Fucking love them. That was the band I was thinking of.
I don't know if I've reacted to them yet.
Nice.
I don't think I have. So that'll be a new one for me. Alan just woke the fuck up.
Well, if you like them or not, you're definitely going to get something from it. Yeah. If you like Passcode, you like Sokoninaru, and if you like Sokoninaru, you probably like Passcode.
Yeah, someone remind me to do that then, because I probably will forget that name by the time I wake up tomorrow morning. So if everybody's talking about them, I feel like the odd one in the room now. I'm like, well, I've not heard them yet.
I love Hard Bro says Sokoninaru just made Alan wake up, so we know now your safe word. If it looks like he's running out of oxygen, just say Sokoninaru.
I hope I'm awake. I mean, I'm driving. So
you are driving.
Yeah. Concentrate on the road.
There's nothing to crash into. There's nothing to crash into in the abyss, so you're fine. Just
hey, look, it's Juarez.
Oh God, there is.
That's a view. That's a view.
I literally live on the border of Mexico. Like that's Mexico right there.
Damn! Look at that.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, right there. It's so crazy. I can like throw a rock over there.
I tell you what. For someone that comes from England, open spaces are like such a luxury. All I see here is terraced houses. So open space is just like what?
So true.
You can't add more land or what?
Have you seen the size of our country? It's like that big. There's no more land.
Look. We tried to do that in Ireland, and it didn't really work.
And maybe you can get some extra land added. I know it's a bit much, but it could work.
If any country has tried to get more land in history, I think it's probably England. Kind of, it's our thing. It's our thing, trying to get more land and then giving it back.
After we've taken all the valuable resources and minerals.
It's like, you know what? Maybe this wasn't the best idea. You have it back. Sorry about all of the history.
God. Well, that took a very dark turn.
So, who had their bingo card for colonialism and genocide before the end of this talk?
But yeah, no, I haven't heard that band. So I'm like the odd one out here. I feel like I need to go and do a reaction for them.
I think you'll like them. Definitely do, yeah. And they are one of those reaction bands. They're one of those bands where a reaction is warranted because it's going to be like, whoa. So, don't check out their most recent song because it was them for a bit of a change, trying something different. So they went for something a bit more mid-tempo. Check out probably one of their higher view songs from before, and it will give you an idea of what they do when they're just sort of being themselves rather than it's funny when a band can be experimenting by doing a mid-tempo hit. So we're going to experiment with playing to a beat.
Wow. I like this.
Oh my word.
Guys, if you've got any more questions you'd like to ask Howard or Alan before time runs out, now's the time to do it.
No one even cares that I'm here. No one even cares that I'm
I care that you're here, my dude. I've had so much fun listening to you.
I love you too. Between you and Alan's thighs, this was all worth it.
I feel like I come a very poor second to Alan's thighs.
The question is, are you moist?
Well, that's my secret, man. I'm always moist.
Sleep on it, and I'll tell you in the morning.
Has this stream resulted in wet thighs? Is what I want to know.
The moist cast.
We've got some cool comments coming in here. Everyone's enjoying all the moistness. So,
It's
Your thighs have started a movement.
I'm sure one of my mods can obviously put both of these guys' channels in the chat. Also, don't forget, guys, that once this gets recorded and once I will post this on YouTube tomorrow, and I'll make sure that obviously both guys have their channel links and stuff like that in the description. So if you want to go and check them out that way as well, it will be there tomorrow for you guys to go and subscribe and stuff to both.
Thank you, by the way, to Delta Alpha. Cheers, Delta Alpha. I'm just that's nice. Yeah, just looking at some. I don't know if that was sarcasm or not, but assuming it's not, then thank you. I'm just looking at. I've got a question here for Howard. What's the most insane thing about living in Japan? You know what? I'm always tempted. I know it sounds like such a cheap thing to do, but I'm tempted to kind of like subvert that kind of question by pointing out that usually the first things you notice when you arrive here are things that you just don't expect. Like the very first thing that hit me the very first time I came to Japan, I remember it so clearly. It was when I arrived at the airport, got the bus into the city, and then went, wow, look at that face. Oh my God. All right, there we go. First thing I noticed was Alan's face.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm a child. Sorry.
Now, first thing I really noticed was looking down at the road and going, "Where's the rubbish?" Hold on a minute.
I just realized how many times I drove on this highway.
It's just clean.
I start looking at the road.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
That would be a good idea.
So why did you crash? I was looking at some guy in Japan. But
yeah, it would be a ball ache.
About Japan is the little things. It's always little things.
What guy are you checking out in Japan?
I thought you were staring at my face. Checking out guys in Japan all the time. That's just what I do.
Fuck yeah.
I hope my missus isn't watching this.
Guys that you're checking out in Japan.
Check my missus isn't watching this first of all before I reply to that. They are moist. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, by the way, Hello Motors left a really cool comment in here. He's totally right. If anyone does end up on my Discord server, be aware that, yes, everyone disagreeing with everyone else is exactly how our Discord server works, and it's what makes it brilliant. We all disagree all the time, and the conversations are fantastic. So if you just like to disagree with people, then feel free to join our Discord. But there's some cool comments coming in. Just trying to keep up on it because I've only got like 22 minutes left, so I just want to make sure I'm with all of you guys. Getting so many messages come through from my client. But
it pretty much sounds like my Discord. So,
Marta mentioned.
How is the chat? How are you all doing?
Alan asks how the chat doing.
But how are you guys?
How moist is the chat right now? That's what he really wants to ask.
People want to type, but their keyboards are all just like sodden in moisture.
Like sweaty ass thighs when you're sitting down for. Is that what I'm getting here?
So, all right. Even people now are like, it's fucking 2 a.m. I need to sleep. So, all right, okay.
Harbros, it's 9 a.m. Harbros, thanks for waking up, man. You're 1 hour behind me, so I'm guessing you're in Singapore. I'm gonna guess Singapore just out of nowhere. Singapore, because I know Singapore is 1 hour behind. Are you in Singapore, Harbros? If I guess that right, then we can now assume I'm clairvoyant.
Thank you as well for my mods and stuff like that, spreading back his Discord and as well as Dicodec's Discord links and stuff. So thank you for that, guys. I appreciate that. So if you want to go and check them out, or you want to go and join their Discord communities, now's not the time to do it.
And there's channels for a lot of the bands, like band. Discussion.
I think it's a super fair trade. I send one subscriber Alan's way. He sends 30,000 my way. So that's a fair trade-off.
And I send you my good wishes.
What happened? What did you say?
I was joking. I was turning around and said, we both get something out of this. I send one subscriber your way and you can send 30,000 mine.
Deal.
Baka sends his good wishes.
That one subscriber loves me game.
Like I said, most of our communities are mixed and intertwined anyway. Like I said, the reason why
I was gonna say, I think all of our communities probably
are pretty solid. Like you said, the reason why I invited you guys onto this show was because my community asked for you guys, which means probably my community is your community as well. So they know who you are. So.
Because my community is 90% trolls. So you need a troll army. That I can give you. I can give you a troll army.
A troll army. I like it. I feel powerful.
We got a troll army. We pretty much. I sometimes think our entire following is based in a small building somewhere outside of Moscow. So
Imagine. Just sat there sipping vodka.
Caldiff he's one of my mods. He claims to be a huge Scandal fan, but secretly he works for the KGB. Gave you away, Harry. Gave you away.
We got Alan. He goes, are you going to be doing a Bandmade stream one day?
Are you asking me?
Yep.
What'd you say?
Alan, right?
Are you going to do a Bandmade stream? A Bandmade day concert?
We already did. We did a 4-hour Bandmade stream.
Oh,
Did
damn.
it the other night.
Oh, shit.
4 hours.
4 hours?
Stream I've ever done.
So, well, whoever's just asked that in chat, you missed that.
So Unseen
Clearly
World,
not enough of a fan.
Yeah, we streamed Unseen World, and I had to fucking wind every damn song because my brain was trying to process fucking everything and still didn't achieve that. But it was so long, we were like, all right, we gotta stop this. This is getting ridiculous.
Keep off his underwear and
the chat wants you to double your effort to make it an 8-hour stream next time.
Hey, shout out to everyone that went and watched that stream all the way through. That's fucking awesome. You're awesome for doing that. I was like, nobody's gonna watch this. I go look, I'm like, oh, I guess people are gonna watch that.
It's Bandmade.
People sat through 10 hours of me watching Bandmade. I'm pretty sure that with your production values, they'll sit through 10 hours of you watching Bandmade. Mine was presented in this quality.
Even during that, we were the 4 hours went 10 minutes. So all I remember is it ended with me getting mad at my green screen and throwing it. I think I saw a stream ended. Yeah. Let me know if I'm wrong, chat. I don't remember. That's how it ended. I think the alcohol got to me by the end.
So, there you go then. There you go then.
By the way, Motto is right. It is our channel imperative to leave comments that accidentally cause bands to break up. And I apologize to all the bands who have been broken up by our reviews. I'm very sorry.
Bands broken up by reviews.
No, every time I give a review that isn't complimentary, just by some weird coincidence, those bands usually break up within a couple of months of me leaving the review. So it's become a bit of a channel meme that I might accidentally be causing more harm than good. I think someone opened a subsection on our Discord, which is bands that Howard probably broke up.
I need to check that out. For sure. So
don't blame me for girlfriend. I didn't break up girlfriend, not intentionally at least. Then again, none of them were intentional. Okay, it probably was my fault.
Yeah, Lucky says that Baka is actually the real Reaper. So
I'm just not neon. I'm bald. Bald Reaper.
Who's the new raper?
The new Raper. I hope your girlfriend doesn't see this either.
You know that's not confirmed until my lawyer's present.
So all right, guys. I think this is pretty much it. So I want to say big thank you, Paul. Thank you so much, man, for joining us tonight as well. It's been a bit of a weird one because I know you're so much more vocal. It takes a very rare couple of people to out-talk you.
There we go.
So thank you, man, for being in this. As always, absolutely amazing.
No worries, bro. Thank you.
Howard, it's been an absolute pleasure, my man. I definitely want to check out some more of your future stuff. You've been very informative, and it's just been amazing.
Just wanted actually to say a big thank you to yourself actually for inviting me along to this. Thanks for the guys from your channel who and from my channel who made the connection. Cheers to Paul, actually. I know you've been sitting there quietly, but it's always good to have someone in the room who can basically be the moderator for when we talk about thighs too much. Thanks to the Decodec guys, of course. It's always been a pleasure talking to you and your sweaty parts. And yeah, thanks to everyone in chat. I will just sort of reiterate, if you do get a chance, obviously the Discord link for our lot is there. I mean, we have a lot of great chats on there, so you're more than welcome. Do feel free to follow our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of stuff in the past, and there will be some Babymetal content coming out soon when I've had a bit of chance to work on that and get it really refined. So just, yeah, a big thank you to anyone who's following of our social media. And as always, a big thank you to I'm going to do it. A big thank you to our Patreons. I always give you a big thank you because of that we're not monetized, so we love you. Right,
thank you so much, man. And Alan, man, thank you as well for agreeing to be on. It's been an absolute pleasure and wonderful. I'm gonna have sweaty thigh, moist dreams tonight. So thank you for thank you for that.
I've got to go to work thinking about his thighs.
Thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. Paul, I would love to talk to you more because you mentioned like all my favorite music that I listen to also in the
sure,
early
man.
days, like band for band, rapper for rapper. I was like, wow, that's everything I listen to also.
Awesome.
So,
it's cool to hear, man.
Conversation with you on that stuff. But it was
Thank
fun
you.
talking to all of you guys. It was a blast. And hey, love great music, guys. Love the music. Keep spreading it. Spread the love.
So and yeah, and you know the one person the one people that I want to thank the most is the absolutely wonderful people that are in chat right now that have been sat through our moist talking for the last couple of hours. Thank you guys for joining us, making this chat absolutely entertaining, listening to us all yabber on about music and freaking everything else in between, our channels, YouTube. It's been absolutely amazing.
But 1 second though, how many people have been sitting the whole screen?
I do not know. I do not have my number counters on. I always switch them off, so I don't know how many people are watching it when I stream. But I'm sure somebody will in the chat will tell us.
Anyone want to tell us how many people are in? 46.
We've got 46 at the minute, so it is getting to that time where in Europe, where most of my viewers are, that it's time for it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. They're tired. But it's been absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, guys, for you powering through this as well. I really, really appreciate it. As always, this will be dropped on YouTube as well as of tomorrow. So I really, really appreciate the support on there as well. So go and watch it again. Have it on a tab as you're making your breakfast or you're doing whatever tomorrow. Make sure you go and do that as well because that really helps my channel grow. Also lets me know that you guys enjoy these episodes.
Yeah, let's do this again sometime.
For sure. I really, really enjoyed it. So what I usually like to do is, like, if people enjoy coming on, I'll do a couple of episodes by invite new guests, and then what I'll do is I'll bring some old guests back. So if as long as you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Podcast. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I fucking forgot it's a podcast.
but seriously, dude, if any of you would like to reach out to me to do absolutely anything, whether or not it be a joint video or just a podcast of any sort, or talking about a subject or anything like that, and you want me to be in it, then yeah, give me a call. I'll be there.
I will bug you to be on my podcast sometime soon. You can be right after Sakura. After I've spoken to Sakura from the Let's Goes, you can be on there complaining that you weren't on that.
I know, yes, yeah. That'll be the first thing I say. You'll be like, "Hello, Neon," and I'll be like, "Fuck you. Didn't invite me onto that podcast." How could you?
30-second podcast.
Eric,
Hey, sucker, too late.
Right now, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're only 15 minutes away. What do you mean? Where am I? Still driving.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time right here for another podcast desk. Thank you, everybody, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. See you.
Oh, guys. Stay awesome, everybody.
Stay awesome, guys.
Stay off drugs. So we're offline now.